Hey, how you doing? This is SEIJIHITO here to bring you another live stream. So this is going to be a little bit different from what we have, in a sense, covered at least of recently, right? And the reason I wanted to do this is to, and again, low view live stream because of the issue and all that other type of stuff. So it'll probably just be a few, like probably 5, 10, folks directly here. But the reason I wanted to do this is due to the fact, again, of the comments that I received or lack thereof when these videos happen to pop up. And, as I stated before, this is part of the course, and this is what normally tends to happen, right? The folks that want to complain and they want to sit up there and state that, yo, you need to start doing more videos like, X, Y, and Z and all this other type of stuff. People tend not to, pull up like that. Hey, D Love, what is up? What is up? What is up? Much love, respect, and appreciation. So we got a few comments directly talking about the video that I recently posted. I'm trying to pull another comment that I had that somebody posted, and I saw the reason why Mo didn't, take out the time to do like a full response, because you had folks that just wanted to say whatnot and whatever. Let me see. One of the people here, I might just sit up there. I feel like just blocking out the name. I probably will. I'll do it just because they wanted to pull up to the scene and they wanted to post twice. And not only that, but they posted underneath another YouTube channel that they got. I'm like, yeah, you're doing a little bit too much. So, that's what we're gonna do. Hey, what is up, Gail? What is up, Gail? What is going on? Willie Tresses, what is going on? What is happening? Renam, I'm sorry, wait, Renee. Wait, hold on. I know I got this correct because I know I know I've seen the name a few times, and I swear I got it right. I think within the first time, and I want to say it should be Renee M. I think because I was going to try to pronounce the whole thing, but then I thought about it, and then I'm like, I think I got it. If I mispronounced it, my apologies. My apologies. I swear to you, my apologies. Uh, Renee. Okay, yeah, okay. So I did got it. Okay, okay. Yo, Mahoko, what is up? What is up? What is up? Yo, Jay, what is going on? What is going on? So, you said, keep bringing it, Brody. I got you. I got you. No problem. No problem. So, one of the other comments that we got, and again, shout out to Mo because he pulled directly up, was from this person here. Let me see if I can highlight him real quick. Y'all may be able to see. It might have to turn the cell phone sideways in order to get like a full screen type of thing to happen. But underneath the video where I showcased a black female content creator who does hair, she got her own YouTube channel, and she pulled up to leave a comment. This woman basically said, she was like, "What about Trump next at Mr. Hito? You going to tick that off your list too? About time." And I've talked about Trump on this platform. I'm not even sure what that even means, which is weird to me. Next, they said, "About time you showcased a Black American queen instead of bashing them about and blaming them for breaking the boycott. I showcased that in order to let Black women know that no matter how solid everything seems, you have those out there that are willing to forego any and all information to do what it is that they want to sit up there and do. Even if that means that, hey, all right, we are getting mistreated, but that don't have nothing to do with me." Right. So I'm showcasing this to let other Black women know that those amongst them that look like them are not really for them. Right. Next, they said they did awesome work in the boycott. They inspired the English Black women to follow suit. These Black queens deserve all the praise for standing up to the tyrant Asians. There are heaps of talented Black American queens showcasing their innate talents on YouTube. I truly appreciate them and all the efforts to uplift each other. Melanated queen certainly got Black magic soul power that spreads globally. Thank you, beautiful Black magic queens, for rocking your soul power. I'm a little bit confused because this is the thing that gets me. This person could have wrote all of this without even putting me in a conversation. Could have just wrote all of this without putting me directly in the conversation, and the comment would have been completely fine. The problem ends up being when people want to throw critiques two different ways, or they want to have a problem with how it is that I specifically speak on the topic, but yet they themselves are not given a solution. Because the main thing that I hear 99 different times is like, hey, Seji, instead of just focusing on these women, why don't you, highlight this, that, and the third? And my main thing is this. I'm like, if y'all have a problem with what it is that I'm highlighting, why don't y'all get yourselves up just like y'all on social media making these comments? Why don't you use your social medias to highlight and put out all the information dealing with those black women? And this is why I sit up there and say a lot of folks who say that they care don't really care as much as they try to make it seem online, especially in my comment section. Because I'm like, at any moment in time that you see what I'm doing to be problematic, or you feel as though that you got a solution, be that solution. And like I said, I tell people that 99 different times, and they choose not to do it. I'm not talking about. I'm not talking to kids. I'm not talking to teenagers. I'm not even talking to young adults who are early 19 18 19 20 21. Nah, these are grown people that got kids and grandkids that pull up to the scene to critique. But I'm like, if you really care that much, then shouldn't you be on social media pedestalizing, a lot of, those women and putting information directly up out there? Like I said, that's what I'll be talking about. Everybody want to depend on one person to do it, but they don't want to go out there and get their hands dirty. That's wild to me. But you want to be on social media though. You want to run your mouth. You want to come to people's comment section. You want them to do what it is that you feel that they should be doing. Crazy. That's wild work. 1,000%. So next we're going to go, excuse me, directly over to this conversation here. So, right, talking about 4C hair, and we've had this conversation directly in the black community, and ended up having comments again where folks wanted to try to say that black men do not love black women and their natural hair and everything in a sense. Got one person up there said, be fearless, said this is stupid, take it down, meaning the video that I posted where a young man was interviewing 3 to 4 black women outside. I guess it had to be like Florida, Miami, and the darker complected one was basically calling him a liar, stating that, hey, no, that's not true. Black men do not love, black women with their, their natural hair. And I'm like, you got a black man telling you this and you don't want to believe him. So then she proceeds to try to get her point across by like, okay, so what does your mom hair look like? He was like, my mom's hair looks just like mine. She didn't have nothing to say about that one. She could not do anything. She couldn't move around it because she walked right into that because she thought that she was going to have a gotcha moment. She thought that she was going to have a gotcha moment, and she didn't get nothing but herself. So then when that ran low, that's when the light bright to the left of the young man, she spoke up. She was like, well, why do you care? And I'm like, shouldn't it be obvious? He's a black man. He's wearing his natural hair. His hair is tight, curly. I guess you would sit up there and say that it's a 4C. So wouldn't he, in his natural hair, want to see other black women in their natural hair? I would think that would actually be obvious. I think it would actually be common sense. But even still, with that, and his explanation going a bit further, the other one who tried to question him about his mom, she still came back and basically said that he was a liar. Like, no, black men don't love, black women in their natural hair. And I'm like, this is what I'm talking about. It don't matter, even if a black man is directly in front of a black woman saying this, still get called a liar. It's still not factual. It's impossible. It's possible for other men of other races on this planet to love black women with their natural hair, but it's impossible. Even if black men are directly in front of black women saying this, it is impossible, and it is not believable if black men, say that they love it. It's crazy work, right? So underneath that comment, let me see if I can zoom this in for myself. What is it? I'm going to say underneath the person's name is Love. She said, so we're going to ignore the hundreds of years of racism that caused natural hair to be discriminated against. I have natural hair, but I never I never looked down on my sisters with / wigs, weaves, and etc. because it's a process that I have so much empathy for. I'm sick of black men attacking black women over this. Just so disgusting. Nothing, and the craziest part is, if I can at least remember correctly, I don't think I came to a point in time and really attacking black women in that video. But the thing that I've noticed is that if you have a critique or you want to bring up a point, it's deemed as an attack every single time. And I'm like, that's a bit weird. That's highly weird. Um, And the other thing I'll sit up there and say is the fact that you have black men out here that have their own natural hair, like they're wearing locks and all this other type of stuff, right? So in the same exact same instance, like if the son has the exact same hair as the mother, but the son is wearing his natural hair, he's taking care of it, he has locks and all this other type of stuff. I'm a little bit confused on how that's working, how that can't work for everybody else because I don't really see black dudes out here wearing wigs. Now, you do have some women in the comment section. If I go a little bit lower, um, yeah, the one underneath, perfect. What is it, Miss Criminate, right, or whatever, or Miss C? She said when black men say natural hair, they're not talking about tight 4C hair. He's talking about looser, wavy, crossbred kids. I guess it's supposed to be mixed. While on the subject, black women do not like those fake traced on painted hairlines. I'm not understanding how you're trying to compare you know, the hairlines or the spray that they basically use to at least make a straight hairline across to compare that to a wig or weave or all this other. It's not even the same. You got black dudes out here that don't even do any of that type of. They don't do the whole, not painted on, but it's sprayed on with the fibers. They don't even do it. So I'm like, so what are we talking about? I'm like, that's crazy. Like, she looked at the video. I know who she's talking about was the dude that had his locks. All of his, like, the dude's hair was neat. That's the craziest part. She couldn't say nothing else about his hair, but she had to talk about the hairline. So either if a dude doesn't do it, oh, you don't have a hairline and your hairline is jacked up, you might as well cut it all off. But then if he does like the spray fibers, then it becomes like, yeah, us black women, we don't sit up there like that fiber stuff. What? But that's not the whole of everything that he has on. Like everything else is natural. It's everything else that he has on is directly, his hair. And then the other thing that I dislike about this conversation is that when it gets into the 4C conversation and people want to bring up black men, they always go to the further extent in order to try to prove something. They'll be like, yeah, but yeah, black men don't love black women with 4C hair and the woman is darker complected. But I'm like, are you not light? Are you not brown? Like what? Like how do we get away from you and then we went all the way over somewhere else? Because if we're being honest, a lot of people in the black community have their own preferences when it deals with skin complexion. Some people who are melanated want to be with other melanated. Some people who are darker complected want to be people who are brown or people who are light, right? Or some people who are brown don't want to be with dark, they want to be with light. Some people who are light want to be with those who are dark and they're not trying to deal with anybody brown. Like I said, it's a whole mixture type of thing and people are free to sit up there and do that. But the issue comes in when we're talking about hair. Now all of a sudden, if black men are not saying that this is directly beautiful, then no black woman in general is beautiful. I'm like, how do we get here? I'm like, if people have a preference, if people specifically seek something directly out, that is what they specifically want. I don't understand how we went to like this whole other type of thing in order to try to get to the point of like, well, this basically proves that black men don't really love black women. I'm like, that's a little bit crazy to me because I feel like that's where everything is stretching directly to. Right underneath that, Smack said, I don't care what men prefer. I do what makes me feel beautiful. I mean, that's great. Okay. I'm not sure why it is that you decided to leave that comment as if somebody, specifically called you out or quote unquote critiqued or attack you. It doesn't make any type of sense at all. But this is the other issue as well, too. People can do what it is that they liked, but is it what would attract another partner? Like I said, a lot of dudes can walk around and decide to be like, all right, I'm about to be, like animate out or something like that. I'm about to dress like a Power Ranger. They're free. Those guys are free to dress how it is that they want to, but is that going to attract women? No. In a lot of instances, it's not. So, like I said before, it is like I said, I don't know. With some of these folks in these comments, I don't know. Another person underneath there, she said, those girls are speaking from experience and that needs to be validated. Basically, talking about the video where the young man was interviewing the women on the streets. She later said that when I wear my natural hair, I attract other groups of men. I hear the same thing every single time. And when I wear it straight, black men subtly notice. Okay. That's been my experience. And while these young boys say that they want natural hair, messy bun, and lip gloss, I hesitate. to think that they're actually talking about black women. Black women's hair was policed during Jesus Christ, during chattel slavery in the workplace and by black men. This is true and undeniable. What's exhausting is that every single time that we have this conversation right now, people want to start now talking about slavery. What are we doing right now? We're talking about here in like 2025, 2026. Why are we sitting up there talking all the way back in slavery? I don't got nothing to do with that. It's crazy. Now I got to sit up and start sounding like the conservatives and the Republicans. I don't got nothing to do with what was happening back in slavery, with what was going on with hair and those laws. I wasn't even thought of. I wasn't even a part of this universe. Like, what are we doing right now? And it's like also to think about the fact that we had, I think, what was it, like the 60s? And you had the 70s. You had a nice amount of time where black women had their natural hair. They were either, they either had the fro or maybe they had it pressed or whatnot or whatever, right? They weren't just out there just doing what it is that's happening right now, destroying their bodies with all of these man-made chemicals and causing a whole bunch of chaos, internally within themselves with those chemicals, right? And like I said before, directly in the video, we also came to the point for me. My highlight was like looking at the 2000s. This 2000s, that was when you had the most different, you had the most experimental, you had the most, did I say intricate? I think I might have said intricate, but you had a wide diverse or diverseness, that's not even a word. You had a wide diversified different types of hairstyles for black women and young black girls. Like it was crazy. Like I kid you not, every single week it was a different trend with hair. Like to see that and watch it in real time was something that, like I said before, I can't point to a different time where this was going on with black women and black girls. Like it was literally every single week was a different trend. You might have saw, them with like beads. You might have saw them with yarn. You might have saw them with like braids. You might have saw them with like half and half. Like it was all over the place, and it was beautiful. It was great. It was awesome. Like I said, I'm not sure if you'll ever get back to a time like that. Like I said, that time where it was 1999 to that 2005, maybe 2006 era. Yeah, I'm not sure if you're gonna be able to pull that back. Like I said, it's to the point where if you look at women of other cultures, they're still trying to dip and dive and catch on to stuff that was happening back then, because it was so like that. That lets you know how much stuff was happening with hair during that point, where even the women of now who normally copy, they can't even specifically go back to that time frame and specifically copy, because it was many things happening all at once, all at the same time. Like I said, and that's not even mentioning, the different black areas around the United States and the hairstyles that was specifically happening there, right? Like I said, crazy work. But yeah, that speaking to the Nicole McCoy, that's exhausting. It's exhausting every single time people want to pull in slavery when we're talking about hair, and then people want to sit up there and say that magically it's the fault of black men for the reason that black women are doing what it is that they're doing with their hair right now. Last time I checked, I heard women sit up there and say that they don't do this for men; they do it for themselves. So I'm a little bit confused. Just like the other woman above, she sat up there and stated that she don't care what men prefer. She does what makes her feel beautiful. So like I said, I'm a little bit confused. Little bit confused. And then to sit up there and say that, yeah, those black dudes who are saying that they want to sit up there and see a woman with her natural hair and like 4C, they not talking about black women. No, come on, dog. Like I said, you just can't win. You can't win. Next, this person had a reply. She said that, or they said, black women are loving themselves and are wearing their natural hair, and they are being, condescended to for doing so. They are damned if they do, damned if they don't. No, that's not how that. Like I said, I'm not sure. This is okay from my point of view. I'll put it to you like this: a lot of these women who got these experiences, they're holding on to stuff from like middle school and like high school or something like that, or maybe like the few black dudes that they were interested in that they found attractive, and then those dudes sat up there and said something wrong, and that's the thing that really hurt them and stuck directly with them through their 30s, 40s, and all this other type of stuff. Because like I said before, there's lots of black men out there that a lot of these women who leave these comments, they don't find attractive. They don't deem as qualifiers or anything like that. Those dudes out there saying that, hey, black women, you're a natural, you know, you're beautiful in your natural hair and everything of the sort. Those are the dudes that are sitting up there, you know, doing a lot of championing of a lot of this. But these exact same women that pull up to the comment section, they're not trying to look at those dudes. They don't find them attractive. They would never select them. They would never sit up there and date them. They would never give them the time of day. Those dudes do not matter. They would consider those dudes to be unattractive. They would consider them to be ugly, right? And all this other type of stuff. So, like I said, these women here are specifically talking about guys that they entertained, that they found to be attractive. They're not sitting up there talking about all the rest of the dudes that they deem to be unworthy or unattractive or quote unquote broke. They ain't, like I said, it's crazy. Last but not least, another person said, although, excuse me, although we had and still do have men that love and want natural hair, we have to be honest and stop overlooking the fact that there were plenty of black men that were running black women down, talking about how their hair and nails were done and how unkept they look. This was happening a lot, just degrading and belittling black women, comparing them to how other women looked. Now, all of a sudden, a more conscious wave of black men are now changing their stance on what they want, even with some no longer choosing to date white women. I'm shocked she even said that. That's crazy. I know plenty of black men that wouldn't have been caught dead with a woman in her natural state who are now saying, oh, I used to be like that, but not no more. I'm just glad a lot more black women are starting to embrace their natural hair. What? Let me, as a black man, let me sit up here and tell you what I heard. It's black man's fault. Black man's fault. Black man's fault. Black man's fault. Black man. Black man. Black man. Fault. 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 Black man's fault. I'm happy that black women are loving themselves and their natural hair and embracing that. Black man's fault. Black man's fault. Black man's fault. Black man. Black man. Black man. Fault. 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 That's all I heard. Just like with the previous woman who sat up there and said that, yeah, all of these other men of other races, they really adore and love me when I'm in my natural hair. Huh? Like those are just the only those are just the only ones, brother. That's what we're doing. That's how it works. All right, cool. No problem. No problem. So, yo, uh-oh, who was that? Somebody said this dude is a goof. Ah, Indigo, how am I a goof? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Because like I said, I caught the comment exactly when you put it directly up there. So that's within like a minute. So we can't have that much of a delay. So for Indigo, let me know how it is that the person talking to you right now is a goof. Let me know. Let me know. Because what I'm saying is, out of all of my many years covering this is the main simple thing that I hear. I've even given videos off of TikTok from black women who wear their natural hair, and they say it time and time again that the only time that they give love, admiration, that they're pedestalized, that they're called a queen, that they're looked at positively, that people even look at their highly melanated skin and love them for who they are, is when men of other races see them. And they consistently state that black men never love black women in their natural or their dark skin. So I'm just trying to figure out, where am I lying at? That's all I'm just trying to figure out. That's all I'm trying to figure out. Like I said, step back from the whole slavery, man, and stop trying to even go back there because that don't make any type of sense. We're in 2025, 2026, right? Depending on, some of the videos that I'm going to sit up there and showcase. And we're talking about the here and now. Like I said, I wasn't back then. I have nothing to do with those laws. I don't know nothing about whatever black men that people want to sit up there and reference from, like what the 50s, 60s, 70s. I don't know nothing about that. Y'all got that. I'm talking about these timelines of which that I've either experienced or at least been close by or near. Like I said, it's crazy. Like this is crazy. I was waiting for that person to pull back up. Like it's crazy. Like that's why I be telling y'all. Like we'll have live streams, and then I'll specifically post somebody to let them know, like, hey, I'm waiting for your comment to. I'm waiting. I'm talking to you. I'm waiting for you to pull back up. And these people, they'll write something, and then they'll just dip. I'm like, did you think that this was just like a pre-recorded video? It's like I'm just trying to figure out, do people just get shook? Like as soon as they get called forward to the front of the room, like, hey, you to the front of the class. It's all the way in the back. I need you to come to the front. You know, that's some crazy work. Oh, somebody blocked them. All right, well, it'd be like that now. Now it makes sense. Now it makes sense, right? Right. So now let's look at a few videos, right?
When they say they like natural hair, it's a very specific type of natural.
Oh, also before this video gets started, this woman was referencing a clip from the Red Balloon Pop show, but I had to cut that because the Red Balloon Pop, they be having, all of this other type of stuff where it's like, oh, somebody used this clip, we're taking, the whole, live stream or whatever and yada. So I had to clip that out. So I'm like, yeah, I clipped that out. But she was talking about a Red Balloon Pop clip where a black dude with locks was specifically talking to a woman. And the main thing that he basically stated, out of everything that he could have potentially, looked directly at, he didn't talk about her body weight. He didn't talk about the complexion of her skin. He didn't talk about the way that she was dressed, the way that she talked, anything like that. He just said for him, it was, the hair. That was it. He has locks, right? He has his in a certain type of styling. So maybe if hers were styled a certain type of way, maybe it might have been different. I'm not sure. But like I said, people pick different reasons on the Red Balloon Pop to, get rid of or eliminate another person versus stating what it is or the real reasons of why it is. Like I said, when men state certain things, they can't specifically be honest. Men have to say other things in order to do it. So this is where she's coming directly in at.
And it's not short for C. They want 3B, 3C, bra strap length hair. That's what they want when they want natural hair or when they say they like natural hair. It's very specific. It is not, they're not talking about all natural hair from, all black women, 4A, 4B, pixie, collarbone, mid back, like very specific, 3B, 3C down your back. And it's just very ironic for him to have dreads, which is looked down upon by a lot of people outside of the black community, and then turn around and say and tell another black person, a black woman, I don't like your hair. Are you all right? Like, you must not like yourself. That's just the irony in that. And something that's even crazier, like when my hair is in its natural state, I get more compliments from white people. When my hair is straightened, clip-ins, whatever, or just my hair straightened, I get more compliments from black people. That really shouldn't be how it is, but that's really been my personal experience, and all that really shows me is that within the black community, there's still a lot of self-hate when it comes to our hair and our hair textures and curl patterns and all of that, and it's sad. It really is.
So this is the one main thing directly with this, right? So again, she started off again. I had to cut the clip of the Red Balloon Pop directly out, but it went from black men don't like this to then instead of her pinpointing specifically who she wanted to talk about, she said the hey, everybody else who is non-black, they love my hair, they love the way that I am, and it's great. But then when it deals with the black community, they don't love me. Who specifically in the black community? Because you started off talking about black men. So are we still talking about black men, or now are we talking about black men and black women? Which one is it? Because I'm not going to believe that now you want to swap it up after having your entry to have people listen to your conversation, and you're now trying to quote unquote, as people would say, attack black women when it deals with texturism. I'm not going to believe that you're doing that. And that's why I sit up there and say a lot of these conversations, we have a lot of issues. What was it? 88, yo, what is up? You said, Seji, do you have IG or TikTok? Yes, I do. It's pretty much the same name. So if you type in the same name, it'll pop up for you. Shout out to all the other moderators directly here. Also, shout out to Gail, D Love again. Who else did we have? We got Pink directly in the building as well. Shout out to Tippy, because I know she's gonna sit up there and say something and swear to goodness that I did not see her. CT, what is up as well too? I'm just making sure that I get everybody directly up there. But yeah, like I said before, it's crazy. Like I said, people don't want to be honest, and for me, like I said, growing up, And a lot of the female family members that I knew of, they were the main ones talking about black women's hair. I didn't normally hear my uncles sitting up there talking about black women's hair. They were always talking about like other stuff. They were talking about the game, they were talking about sports, they were talking about the job or what's to eat and all this other type of stuff. They never had a fixation on black women's hair, right? That was just, again, never the thing. I always heard this directly from black women. I specifically, at least during that time, I heard that from black girls, how they would be talking about another girl's hair. The guys wouldn't really be sitting up there saying that. Like, of course, dudes can, of course, guys when they're younger, they can sit up there and be stupid, right? That can happen. But you would think, right, that if guys are stupid at a young age, then in the reverse, girls should be more intelligent. They should be more conscious, more aware. That's not the case. If you had a little girl and she was sitting up there rolling with like her natural hair, or everybody else had their hair straightened or whatnot, whatever, they were trying to sit up there and clown her. They were calling her nappy and all these other types of things, right? Even women in her family were sitting up there saying disparaging and negative things about her hair and all this other type of stuff. Like I said, it's not black men that sit up there and send their daughters to go get their hair permed. I done seen a lot of black dudes be like, yo, don't put that stuff in my daughter's hair. Like, don't put those chemicals in my daughter's hair. And then the main thing is like, well, if you don't want those chemicals in her hair, are you going to do her hair? Are you going to take care of it? You're the mother. You should be taking care of her hair. You are a woman who also has the exact same hair texture. You should know how to deal directly with the hair, which comes from your DNA. It's crazy how you're going to sit up there and try to put the responsibility directly on somebody else and try to say that, okay, well, you can be responsible. No, 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 no. If you know how to deal with your hair and you've been dealing with your hair, you should also know how to deal with your daughter. Just saying. That for me, that makes sense. Just like you got guys when it deals with their boys sitting up there getting haircuts. Some dudes, they know how to sit up there and cut hair. Most guys, they know how to shave. So they can easily be like, all right, I'm going to sit up there and teach my son how to sit up there and shave. A lot of guys have sat up there and heard this. Or, maybe they might have had uncles or grandfathers. I'm going to teach them how to shave or whatnot or whatever. Or you got some dads out there or uncles or men in the family, they know how to cut hair. And it's like they'll do that. They'll cut their son's hair, or they'll teach them how to sit up there and cut hair. Or if not, then that's when they take them to a barber, right? Where the son can sit up there and learn how to sit up there and deal with, hey, this is how you sit up there and cut your hair, all this other type of stuff, right? Being around other barbers, being able to see this and that and all this other type of stuff. But like I said, you can't tell nobody nothing. You can't tell nobody nothing. Like, people don't want to sit up there and listen at all. Like, you would rather, instead of you as a woman wanting to deal with your own hair, you let alone don't even want to deal with your daughter's hair. So you're going to sit up there and put chemicals directly in her brain, in her body. You're going to sit up there and mess up her body at an early age where, everything is just kicking in. Right. And then you got, in the long run, you got a lot of these young black girls and black women dealing with fibroids and all these other types of things, and they don't know where it's coming from. It's coming from all of those man-made chemicals that get put directly onto the scalp, that seep directly in and go into the body and cause havoc. But like I said, people want to sit up there and say that the reason that black women they have a hard time with their hair and all this other type of stuff is the black man's fault. That's BS. That's BS. That's 100% BS. Like I said before, ain't no man in my family ever sit up there and tell any of my aunts or whatnot, whatever, like, yo, you need to go get your hair pressed and straightened. You need to go get some lye in your hair. Your hair looks ridiculous. How you're not walking out the house like this. You're not representing the family's name. Like, no, they never did it. It was black women going out there to do it. And it was them using their own money to go out there and do it. And if they weren't going out to do it, then they were doing it directly at home. Like I said, I watched it. Seen it with my own two eyes. Well, let's keep going, right? Let's keep going.
Ever a time that I was afraid to walk out of the house with the way my hair naturally grows out of my own scalp. Like, saying it out loud makes that whole statement sound even more crazy, but the reality is a lot of black women, even till today, are afraid, especially if they have type 4 hair, to walk out of the house with their hair in its most natural state. The truth of the matter is, a lot of Black women are extremely dishonest when it comes to the discourse surrounding our natural hair. That's why you see a lot of Black women saying they will never wear their natural hair to their birthday party, a club, a party, like a party in general, or any special event. The reason behind this is because Black women do not see any real or true value behind our natural hair. We genuinely do believe that other hair types look better and is more valuable than our own natural hair. And I don't want to hear anyone saying, babes, that's not real, you're just making that up. Come on, babes. There is a reason that Black women strictly wear straight wigs that do not match their own natural hair texture. And then the next argument is going to be like, well, other races of women wear wigs, weaves, and extensions too. White women wear extensions, Asian women wear extensions, and blah, blah, blah. Although that you guys may be right that those women wear, other women of different races wear wigs and extensions and weaves as well, the big point that y'all seem to miss, the big key point that y'all seem to miss is that they are wearing wigs and weaves that match their hair texture. And this is where the conversation of texturism comes in. The problem is a lot of Black women do not like the hair texture that is growing out of their scalp. You can't say that you love your hair, your natural hair, but in the same breath wear wigs and weaves that are completely different hair texture than your natural hair that's covering your natural hair. You can't, it's very contradictory if you really think about it. And obviously, if you want to wear extensions and wigs, like, that is not a problem. No one is saying don't do that. You can absolutely still get braids, African hairstyles in general, like cornrows, kinky twists, all that type of stuff. And on top of that, if you do want to get wigs, if you do want to get hair extensions, get the hair extension and wigs that literally match your hair type to just, you know, elaborate on your natural hair to make it maybe longer, maybe fuller, whatever the case may be. I just want Black women to be able to create a world for themselves within our own community where we can walk out of the house and be ourselves in our most natural state. You know, it's gonna be like, for example, all I did this morning, literally I took off my bonnet, sprayed some water on my hair, and I fluffed it out. Literally, that was it. Literally the most easiest process in the world. Other races of women are able to, you know, walk out the house, throw their hair out of their ponytail that they left it in overnight, and just walk out the house. Why can't we also have that same luxury? At some point, we have to stop blaming other people. At some point, we have to stop pointing fingers. At some point, maybe we are the problem as well. Before I could get to the point or the place where I can wear my natural hair like this, I had to have a real, honest conversation with myself. It was a tough conversation, but the conversation needed to be had. I'm very glad that I was able to come to the conclusion that I love my natural hair. If anyone else doesn't like it, that is a them problem, not a me problem. I literally love the way my natural hair, you know, elevates my other natural features like my nose, my lips. I have a big nose, a big lip, big eyes. Like, it makes sense for my hair to also be big. Black women, just remember that you are beautiful, your hair is beautiful, your skin is beautiful, your nose is beautiful. Whatever it is, it's all beautiful. Do not allow outside forces to control and navigate your life.
Right. So for me, I feel as though that is a positive message, right? Nothing in there she said was wrong at all. Black women should love themselves, love their hair, and everything that directly comes with it, right? Now I did see Shauna was like, is she part of the community, the Black American part of the community? That I'm not sure. I didn't see any type of flags or anything of the sort in the bio, at least when this video came directly up. And I want to note her video was amongst other Black women up there that that they like or hate for hair. And I want to note to a lot of people that initially when I looked this up, I thought, as what other people normally state, that, oh, you know, Black men, they're always vocal, they hate 4C, they hate Black women. And I typed this directly in, I got a whole bunch of videos of Black women talking about this, talking about that they dislike, that it's hard to manage, it's hard to deal with, they're thinking about cutting it off, they hate their 4C hair and all this. And I'm like, I'm like, by the way that people always respond and come directly to my comment section, I'm like, I thought it was the reverse. I thought that it was only black men that would be saying all of this stuff about black women's hair. But I'm like, that's not even the case. It's not even the case. Like I said, crazy work. Diabolical. Yo, Bushido, what is up? What is up? What is up? What is up? What is going on? Tippy said, man, I did my hair like that before. Guess what happened? Let's guess. So what, you had shrinkage? That's what happened? It probably shrunk. I mean, that's going to sit up there and happen. It curled up, it absorbed the water, and it curled up. So it would just take a lot more, in order to do it. Let me see. Yeah, I don't even know what it is. University said the only black man that didn't like my hair was a balding, jealous man. Sounds like an old guy. Sounds like an old guy. Somebody said, what is 4C hair? Look it up. Sonny said, nah, FBA don't do texturism or colorism and etc. Sonny said, tether alert. D-Love said this 4C thing bothers me because it's not a type of hair. Curly, straight, wavy, etc. is a type of hair, not the number and the letter on the package. Brady said, yeah, I don't think she's Black American, but her hair is gorgeous. So now let's go to the next video.
Day started good. It's 8:30 in the morning, and I've already seen too many videos of.
Right. So let me just freeze this real quick. Right. I gotta bring that up a little bit. So at top it says, so if you foresee with short hair, yep, they hate it. Crying emoji. And they'll only accept it if you're literally, wow, I froze on a crazy eyes, which is crazy. My apologies. You're literally beautiful, like your face card has to be there. Or if you started your lock journey, some of them will accept that, talking about black men. Underneath that, she stated that I also hate speaking for all men. Every man isn't the same. So speak for yourself if you must in the comments, but be real though. So let's go back over it.
I haven't even got my day started good. It's 8:30 in the morning, and I've already seen too many videos about men not liking 4C hair. Black men don't really like 4C hair. Let me help everyone out, because the men are in the comments, some of them are lying. We do love it. Well, we wear 4C hair every day. We can't wear weave, so how we don't like it? Let me help y'all out. Black men don't hate 4C hair. Black men hate short hair. Unless it's like in a pixie cut or a bob, they hate short hair. Okay?
And I don't lie, black men also don't like their hair texture. Neither they don't really.
I haven't had my.
Let me just freeze this real quick. I forgot who she was, because I remember she's been on this platform quite wait, let me just pull it back. Let me just pull it back before I even get to her. This one right here. Black men, I've seen black men with black women who have a variety of types of hair, even bald. So I'm like, I'm not exactly sure where she lives or the black guys that she's paying attention. Again, I just wanna bring this directly up, right? If a black dude is in a relationship with a black woman, they're invisible to the general population of black women. If a black dude is in a relationship with a black woman and she happens to, like, let's say she might have like a fade bald or something like that, again, invisible. Invisible. Women like this only technically notice black men when they're with somebody who is wearing some type of like wig or weave, or they got their hair straightened. I just want to note that, because there's lots of black men out here that are with black women or that have been with black women of varying different hair types and hair textures. Literally, like I said before, if you go through even going back to like high school and you had a variety of different hair textures, hairstyles, all of that. But like I said, have folks like this sit up there and tell it, yeah, black men only like a certain type. And then this one right here always got something to say about black men every single time. I swear to goodness. And then she pulled up to sit up there and say that black men don't even like their own hair. What are you talking about? What are you talking? Somebody show me historically where black dudes are like, yeah, let me sit up there and put on this white man's like judge wig. Let me put on that judge wig real quick. Let me be a part of the wig party. Let me just throw that on for like a nice 60 years. Like that's how we cutting it out here. That's how we moving. We putting on these white wigs. Huh? What are you talking about? What like I said, how do you get to the point to sit up there and say that black men hate their hair and their texture? How do we even get to that? Where are we even at right now? I've never seen this. I've never seen this. What are we talking about? I done seen brothers with a variety of stuff. It could be bald, it could be a fade, it could be a Caesar, it could be waves, it could be locks, braids, a half and half, it could be a fro, medium fro, large fro, like a high top. I done seen a variety of hairstyles of black dudes. I have not seen where you just got fields of black dudes at this point. I'm talking about at this point in time. I'm not talking about the 60s and the 50s. I'm talking about at this point in time. I don't see fields of black dudes going to like somebody's shop to get their hair like automatically like laid back. That's not what I'm seeing. So to say automatically that black men don't even love their hair, like that sounds crazy. That automatically sounds crazy. I'm like, what? How did we get here? How did we get here? I don't understand it. Anyways, let's continue. Let me see. You said fake dreads? No. D Love, you're right. They do have, like fake dreads and stuff like that. But those are guys that like, all right, I want to sit up there and actually have, some locks, and I'm gonna, do this up until my hair starts growing and then do stuff like that. Because there was a few rappers that did that. And then after their hair started growing, they took those, directly out. And then you saw, their hair. Like I said, I understand that to a point. And also to the effect, again, the reason that you also had dudes having the fake locks or whatnot or whatever is because there was a certain time frame, maybe even a little bit still to this day, where locks were in such high demand and style, specifically when it dealt with black men, that if you didn't have that hairstyle, women weren't looking at you. And this is why I sit up there and say before, women also dictate what men will in a sense do. Like, of course, you'll have men that'll sit up there and just move like themselves, like they'll just do whatever they do. But you got other dudes like, all right, this is the competition out here, so I got to sit up there and in order to be in a competition and get to this pool of women, I got to sit up there and do as the Romans do. So that's what they decide to sit up there and do. It was like, all right, I'm going to sit up there and do this real quick. Just saying. Well, let's keep going.
I haven't had my natural naps out in a little bit, and I've been feeling mad cute like the last few months because I have my signature crochet style that I've been doing, and everybody has been obsessed with it. I get complimented on my hair so much. I always get complimented like, oh, you're so beautiful, or like your hair looks so beautiful, whatever. But of course, when I wear my natural naps, all of a sudden the comments dwindle. All of a sudden, I don't feel nearly as beautiful by the public. Okay, I feel beautiful. Ooh, don't look at my baby. I feel beautiful, but like I'm not getting the same type of princess treatment I was getting over there. I'm not seeing it, and I'm wondering, is it really because my hair is in its natural state? Like, what is that about? That's very weird, and I look very beautiful. I mean, what is that about?
So she used her words very lightly, right? She said that when she wears the natural hair, she feels beautiful and all this other type of stuff. But she noticed that when she does it, over there, she'll, happen to get some looks, but, in other places, she doesn't. I wish people would just be automatically honest and say who it is that you're specifically speaking directly on, because 9 times out of 10, whenever these conversations happen, it always deals with black men not liking something. But women normally say that they do it for themselves and they're not doing it for the attention or the gaze of men, and especially black men. So I get a little bit confused on how these conversations still happening. If you're specifically like, I walk outside of this house and go to the market, it's whatever. I can just roll directly out of bed. It's just, like I said, I might not even probably even be shaving and whatnot or whatever. I'm going directly out to the market to do what I need to sit up there and do. I'm not sitting up there trying to look attractive for nobody about here. I'm good. Like I said, I'm going from point A to point B, right? So I'm a little bit confused. And some of y'all have seen me directly on live streams. Like I done told y'all before, I was like, hey, I just got up and I brushed my teeth and fixed my coffee, and now we doing a live stream. And y'all done sat up there and seen me straight hoodie, beard and all, hair not even picked out or whatnot or whatever. Like I said, I told y'all 99 different times, and I had people cracking jokes on the comment. I was like, I don't care. It's like I do not care how I look right now. I'm here to sit up there and talk about this content and whatever else is specifically going on. Like I said, for me, not caring means just that. Like you pulling up to the scene, it don't matter. Like, of course, like you got some decent clothes on. You ain't just rolling up with like some nacho, beer stained, like jeans and all this other type of stuff. But your clothes are decent. It's normal. But it's like, whatever else is whatever, you know. So, like I said, it seems as though that people are lying when they sit up there and say that they do it for themselves. Obviously, you're not. If you got a problem with how other people are basically judging and viewing it, or the lack of comments that you are getting on one end and you're not getting that from the other end, it seems as though that you're not doing it for yourself. It seems as though that you're seeking some type of validation in order to prove how beautiful you really are, because you don't really believe it yourself. Like I said, it's crazy when people directly lie to themselves. It's crazy to me. 1000%. But let's go directly to the next video.
When it comes to the whole natural hair conversation, the 4C girls got it. You know what? They got it. And it's the same thing when it comes to the whole colorist conversation. The main people complaining are the main people's perpetuating the same exact shit that they complaining about. You're trying to force people to like something that
Much
they
love,
are
D-Love.
not naturally born with. I can't really say because I don't have 4C hair. I have never met a black man who don't like natural hair, because at one point the conversation discourse was black men don't like natural hair. Now the conversation is black men only like loose textured natural hair and not 4C hair. At this point, I don't know what it is, but what I do know is the 4C girlies do not like their own hair. Black women spend billions of dollars yearly on textures of hair that does not look like the hair that they were naturally born with. And just to keep it a buck with you, majority of them are 4C girlies. 4C girlies are the main ones complaining about their hair, main ones complaining about the upkeep, main ones talking about their mama didn't teach them how to do their hair, the main ones covering up their hair. If a bitch ain't got on a wig, she got on a bonnet. Now when the conversation comes up and we're looking...
Hold on 1 second. So be humble. What is up? You said she ain't lying. Men like weaves. So hopefully you are still here. Be humble. What specific men are you talking about? What cut of the cloth men are you specifically talking about? Let me know. You said black men complain about tight curls and they like the half breed texture. So you're talking about, I guess, the mixed hair textures, the Becky with the good hair type of thing. But again, I'm trying to be very specific. Like what black men are you talking about? Are you talking about the black men that you are directly, uniquely interested to? Are we talking about the street dudes? Are we talking about the dudes in and out of jails and prisons? Are we talking about the athletes? Are we talking about the rappers? Are we talking about corporate black men? Are we talking about 9-to-5 black men? What classification are we talking about? Educated black men? What area of black men? Are we talking about the unattractive black? Like what group are we talking about? Because it's like the only time that this conversation comes up a lot is that you got women out here where they're specifically focused on a certain demographic of men. Because we got a university in underneath, she had a comment above. Let me go back up here real quick, because she specifically said, she was like, hear me out. She was like, yo, hear me out. Men were all over me when I had a bald head. I had to beat them off with a stick, so I can't relate. If I had been in that WAP era, that would have been the time to do it. LOL. Right? So, like I said, university had a straight bald head. She didn't have 4C, nothing. And a lot of black women were like, oh no, black men would never sit up there and date or be around women that have no hair. It's like, no. They would never sit. But like I said, I done seen this as well too. I done seen women with the shortest hair. and they sitting up there getting all types of attention. So, like I said, I don't know, man. I don't know where people be at. I do not know where people be at. Be Humble said, everyone you just mentioned has a spot in that group. That doesn't even make any type of sense. I'm a little bit confused. Like I said, the main problem that I have is that people want to heavily generalize this instead of specifically pointing it down to a specific group. Because I know for a fact that you got a lot of black dudes out here that don't really care about black women's hair like that. Right now, they would want it to be natural, of course, because that comes with like chemicals and everything else of the sort, right? They want to see you how you've always been. I'm the exact same way. I don't really like women with makeup, and I don't really like women, wearing all types of like wigs and all. I'm not that type of dude. I'm sorry, I don't do that. Like I said, if women out there do, that's cool for you. Do what makes you feel happy. That's not anything that I was ever attracted to. Never at all. Like I said, I grew up around black women my whole life. That is not anything that I was automatically uniquely seeing. Has it happened in the house where you had like some people putting in like some hair or whatnot or whatever? Yeah, but was that automatically how they were for their whole lives? No. Were they wearing natural hairstyles a lot? Yes. Were they doing their own hair a lot? Yes. Were they taking care of it? Yes. So like I said, I'm just trying to be very specific. It's real easy to sit up there and generalize, but it starts getting real hard for people when you be like, all right, let's niche down real quick. Let me know what specific area these black men that you're talking about. Because for me, it's crazy how you say that all of those black men have a list on the category, but how do they when women have gone out there online and said that 95 or 90% of black men are unattractive? So I'm like, if they're unattractive, that means they're invisible, which means that their opinions don't matter, which means that you would then be looking at the 10 plus or the 10 or less percent that y'all find to be attractive. Those are the ones that y'all really care about the opinions for. Like if a dude that you really found to be attractive basically says something about your hair, you would be massively offended. You would feel a certain type of way. If some type of like ugly dude says something, you wouldn't feel no type of way. You would brush past that real quick. It was like, your opinion don't matter. Like, look at you. That's exactly what would happen. Like I said, I've seen it before. It only realistically matters to those that women deem and find to be attractive or worthy of their attention. That's what I've noticed. You said you're not every man on earth. I'm talking about black men, champion. I'm talking about black men. And you said you're also not a woman. I don't have to be a woman. Why would I have to be a woman in order to have a specific spot in this conversation if black men get brought up when it deals with black women's hair? Like, I'm a little bit confused. I'm a little bit confused. I'm a little bit confused. I'm highly, highly confused. Oh, we got lunch in the building. Yo, lunch. What is up? What is up? What is up? Like I said, I got like I said earlier, before I think maybe before you got here, Be Humble, I said earlier that when I initially looked this up, I expected, just like black women have been saying for so many years, I expected to see nothing but hate letters directly to black women talking about their hair and their hair is unattractive and this and that and the third. Everything that black women normally have stated online, especially to me, I expected that to see that on TikTok, because you can see everything on TikTok. That's not what I saw. The main videos that popped directly up for me when I typed this in, I ended up getting black women again complaining about their 4C hair, talking negatively about their 4C hair, and it had nothing to do with black men. It had nothing. They didn't mention not a word or an iota of black men when they were complaining and talking about their 4C, talking about how hard it is to manage and upkeep, take care, to sit up there and style, how they specifically felt directly about it, and all this other type of stuff. They didn't mention nothing about black men in those videos. They were talking directly from themselves internally. So this is why I sit up there and say, like, a lot of this conversation is a bit crazy to me, because a lot of women don't want to sit up there and be honest. It's very easy to sit up there and scapegoat and blame somebody else for why it is that you feel uncomfortable, or for why it is that you don't specifically love your skin or the hair or the hair texture that you specifically have. To take it to a further point, I've even dipped my toe directly into the content when it deals with black women and their hair, like how they take care of it, the products that they use, and all that other type of stuff, like the 4C community that they got on YouTube and all these other places. A lot of y'all are in shambles. Let me sit up there and tell y'all that, because the way that y'all sit up there and talk about and treat black women who are light skinned with 4C hair versus black women who are highly melanated with 4C hair versus brown skinned women who got, of course, brown skin with 4C hair. It's almost like some night and day type of, y'all don't know where y'all going. Y'all don't know where y'all going. And it's all over the place. And the same thing that folks have come up to me and set up there, well, not come up to me, but in the comment section, set up to say like, "Yo, Seji, you're just like those black men. You're a texturist and you're a colorist. You're anti-black woman." Nah, this is what I see from a lot of black women. There ain't no black man directly out there when to deal with those conversations in those hair communities. It is all black women. It is all black women, all black women, all black women, and y'all are in shambles. Y'all are all over the place. Y'all do all of this textures and all of this stuff that y'all say that black men do. I see y'all sitting up there doing front and center in videos and in the comment section, or both. But like I said, when I showcase videos like this, that's not what black women want to talk about. It's like, no. The reason that we feel the way that we feel about our hair is because of you. Huh? But we're not in the 4C community. We're not the ones doing those videos, making those videos. We're not the ones arguing back and forth with other black women in the comment section. We're not even in the comment section. But like I said, I'm just going from what it is that I'm able to sit up there and observe. That's all I'm saying. I'm just going by what it is that I'm able to sit up there and observe. Because I tell you this, ain't nobody on this planet going to be able to sit up there and say like, "Yo, Seji, the reason I was uncomfortable with my hair as a black woman is because of you." You would be hard pressed at all to sit up there and find a person at all, because it ain't never happened. So that's why I sit up there and say, you can miss me with any of that stuff that you want to sit up there and say about black men this and black men that and the hair. Like I said, y'all only realistically care when it deals with black men that you deem and or find attractive, that are worthy of your attention, that you would basically sleep with or date, have kids with, get married to, engaged, and all this other type of stuff. The other black men who have opinions, and they're positive opinions, it doesn't matter how positive those opinions are, how uplifting, how it is that they're trying to substantiate the point of how beautiful it is that you're wearing your natural hair and how compliments, it does not matter. Like I said, I've seen it. I've witnessed it. I've also experienced it myself. Like I said, it's a lot of dishonesty when it deals with these conversations. It's a lot of dishonesty when it deals with these conversations. And that's the thing that I really get sick and tired of. I get sick and tired of when people just want to blame just like one section as if that's going to be the cure-all. Like I said, I didn't heard black men get blamed for black women's hair for like ever since I was born. And what has become directly of that? Nothing. Ain't nothing been happening. I'm still seeing black women do the exact same things. I can go on IG directly right now. I can go on TikTok or whatever else. You got black women all wearing the exact same bust down or whatever it is, the exact same wig with the exact same color, with the exact same baby hairs, with the exact same part. But then it's like, what? So what we're going to set up and say, oh, that's the black man's fault that all of those black women are wearing the same color, the exact same texture, the exact same pattern, the exact same baby hair, the exact same part. We're going to sit up and say that's the black man's fault. Come on, dog. Come on. Come on, man. Like, dog, I need, like, yo, you're not going to tell me that you do it for yourself, but then you're going to sit up and say a black man made me do it. Come on. Come on, man. Let's not do it. Let's not do it. People done already set up and said that black men don't have power in the black community. So how do black men automatically have power over black women not selecting to wear their natural hair? How do we get there? If black men are powerless, how do black men have that amount of power to sit up there and cause that to happen? How? And still to this day? That's crazy. That's diabolical. But all right. But let's continue.
That accountability for disliking our hair, it goes into black men don't like natural hair. Then it'll go into, oh, they created laws against natural hair in the work. It's always going to be something and someone else other than the fact that these bitches really just do not like their hair texture. They don't like their hair texture. They go out and they get these Gina curls, they get texturizers, they'll do anything to make their hair texture look loose. Anything. Even bully other people into accepting a texture of hair that they don't have. I don't have 4C hair. So why in the fuck am I being bullied into accepting 4C hair simply because we black? It's your job to accept 4C hair because you're the one that's born with it.
Bars.
But the natural hair community is full of shit. That's the reason why I stick to doing me. And I love me. I love my blackness. I don't cherry pick my blackness like most of these black women do. It's just really retarded. So it is what it is. I don't have 4C hair, so it ain't my issue.
Like she said, the main point that she sat up there and stated is that you are supposed to love you. That's technically that's the same thing that university said. She said, and if a black man doesn't like your 4C hair, so move him to the side. I'm paraphrasing the words now, but she she said, skip past them, jump over, move over to the side, right? And that's the main thing I sat up there and told people before. I'm like, why are you fixated on the folks that don't specifically like your hair? There's tons of other men out there that do. Oh, that's right. You're fixated on the ones that don't like your hair because those are the ones that you deem attractive, worthy of your attention. Like I said up there and said before. Like I said, like a lot of folks don't want to be honest about this conversation. And that's the main problematic part whenever it is that people want to talk about, like, oh, these black men this, these black men that. No, just say the black men that you are drawn to, the black men that you give attention to, the black men that you find worthy, the black men that you want to specifically be with or sleep with or be engaged directly to or in a relationship. Is those black men that you have a problem with. It's not the other 90 to 95%. Because like I said, and I'm going by the words of women, a lot of black women have tunnel vision. And I'm going by what all of the videos that I've seen over 10 years. So this is hundreds of thousands, if not more, videos that I've been able to see and listen to. I'm also, talking about like the blogs and all these other channels directly out here. A lot of black women have tunnel vision when it deals with black men. They only see a certain percentage of black men directly out there. All the rest of the black men are outside of that tunnel vision. They don't see them. It's invisible. It's a black universe outside of that. But, you can't tell nobody nothing, man. Timmy said you don't have 4ABC, so you don't know, and she's right. But black women, please stop calling other women bees. What is it? Derek said, I do not and never have been with these da 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 da. Okay, that's great. Okay, so I guess you don't date black women. Congratulations. Okay. Anyways, university said, and the braiding hair causes cancer, so I don't really think that she needs to be speaking. Big said, I hate fake hair. I would rather you keep a hairstyle, a short hairstyle. So let's go to the next video.
Where does this idea that men don't like 4C hair comes from? Like, we talking about with adults. Like, where does it come from? There's love women with their natural hair. Whenever a woman has her afro out, guys are always complimenting her. But yet women are still spewing this rhetoric that, oh, y'all don't like 4C, y'all just like loose curls. Like, loose curls is attractive, yes, but that doesn't automatically makes 4C hair not attractive. Like, I just would never understand that shit. Like, women have convinced themselves that, oh, 4C hair is unattractive, y'all don't like it, y'all just be saying that. And I'm just like, because, like, who told y'all that? And whoever told y'all that, I want y'all to stop believing that shit. Maybe in elementary, motherfuckers were cracking jokes. But let's be real. In elementary, you was a fucking child. You didn't know no better.
So, like I said before, I don't know who specifically black women were out here listening to when they dealt with this whole conversation of hair, what caliber of black men or where these black men directly came from. Um, but like I said before, folks need to start grouping those folks up. Because like I said, at no point in time have I ever been at a point where I was like, hey, yeah, I can only date this certain type of, black woman when her hair is like, like this. I'm not really about that natural and all this. I'm like I said before, I don't know where folks would be spending their times. Maybe people need to broaden their horizons and they need to open up their eyes and really pay attention to, other black men directly up out there. That'll probably never happen. Um, but people need to start looking around. Like I said, people need to start looking around because there's a lot of times we can even go to instances where I remember sitting up there telling my mom that I like her hair. And I'm talking about when I'm like a little boy. Like a lot of sons have told their moms that they love their hair and that their hair looks pretty. So it's crazy to me again that magically all of these black women out here got these stories where they ain't never been told by any type of form of a black man or a black male that they are beautiful and all this other type of stuff. But I promise you, black women have sons because I'm the son of a black woman. And I know and I remember specifically telling my mom that when I was younger. I remember. So, like I said, man, folks don't want to sit up there and be honest. Don't want to be honest. You want to sit up there and glorify and pedestalize, all of the bad participants out here, but you don't want to, look at anybody else. Again, that's crazy. That's tunnel vision. It's 100% tunnel vision. Like, like I said, it's wild. Let me see. University said, I get what he is saying. In elementary, I was getting bullied for having long hair, and it wasn't the boys. Yeah, I've seen that as well, too. I think I might have mentioned or talked about that to y'all previously. Like I said, especially I done seen some black girls that they were pretty. And the other black girls, as soon as if you are, I'll put it to you like this. New girl who is pretty comes directly to the school and her hair is nice. The other girls who are used to having the guys put all of the attention and whatnot on them, as soon as that new girl pulls up, they automatically on her. They're automatically trying to clown her. They're trying to down her. They're trying to make her less than. They're automatically picking on her. They're putting gum and stuff on her hair. They're trying to fight her and all this other type of stuff. And the first thing that they'll make sure to go after, they'll start pulling and messing up her hair. I done sat up there and seen it. But like I said, people don't want to talk about that. People don't want to be honest. People do not want to be honest. It's crazy work. Yo, Shauna, what is up? What is up? What is up? You said I've only heard women say that black men don't like 4C or fourth real hair out of the stuff like that. I've never heard black men say that. D Money said, I never. This dude, look. I had to read that comment before. Like I said, I gotta start treating every comment like Mo. I gotta read it silently to myself before I read it aloud. Let me tell you. What was it? Lunch said that always has. Black women used to be some of the greatest trendsetters when it came to natural hairstyles. Bars. That's 100% facts. 100% fact. Like I said, and then you know the craziest part is if you were to transfer the nail styles of today and give that back to them, to the black women and the girls of that time period of the 2000s, oh, it'll be over. It'll be all over the place. Like you think that people are sitting up there copying, black female hairstyles of the 2000s now. Add these styles of nails and give it to those black girls and those black women during that timeline. It'd be crazy. It would be crazy, man. Like I said, people, the amount of copying that will be going on, it would be in overtime. It would be in overtime. Like I said, I remember seeing in a black community primarily, I remember black girls always the main go-to for black girls in the early 2000s it was apple bottom jeans, and it was baby fat. That was the main go-to. It was not a hood that you could go to that you wouldn't see a black girl wearing that. It would be the pink, the green, the dark green, the red, the blue. They had the black. I think in some instances they might have had like a bronze or a gold. Like I said, they had a variety of different colors, right? And then they would have, some different hairstyles. Like usually it would be the ponytail. You would see like some baby hairs, or you will see them with some braids or different stuff like that. Um, but like I said, and then when you saw black women doing it, who else did you see sitting up there doing it? Everybody else was copying it. Women of other races automatically copying it. And I'm like, wow. I'm like, y'all just came out of nowhere real quick wearing this stuff, huh? I thought y'all had like Levi's and all this other type of stuff to wear. All of a sudden, here they go. Crazy work. Crazy work. Crazy work. Crazy work. Yep, Mo and D Money can't sit up there and read the comments. Let me tell you, crazy work. Sharp said, "My mother told me about the ugly girls that cut this one girl's hair with a razor because their hair was ugly. They got whooped, all of them, by the same little girl. Then when the mom came up to the school, she fought the principal. Oh, yeah, that's old school right there. That's 1,000% old school. Yep. Yep. Let me see. University said I was also wearing House of Darion by Beyonce. Yeah. I think it's like some of those things I barely remember. I remember like a lot of others. I think even still during that time, you might have still had like a little bit of FUBU, but that was like early. That was like 2000. I say maybe at max, probably about 03. From 2000 to 03, you had FUBU, you had Fat Albert, and whatnot. But like I said, I'm sorry, you had Guess and FUBU. Guess was actually dope. I liked the crease that you could get in the jeans, and then you had platinum FUBU. Yo, man, let me tell you, the pant, man, I wish some of that stuff was like still out right now. Let me tell you. Let me see. Lunch said, I'm a 90s child, so I remember seeing black women killing it with natural hair. Yep. Tippy said, I remember those velour sweatsuits when I was little, LOL, different colors, and with the Uggs. Yep. He said, Dad said, can't let my kids watch Static Shock anymore. It promotes Pan-Africanism. I mean, you could just bypass that. I think I know the episode that you're talking about, because I think if you probably talking about the episode with like Kwanzaa or something like that, you can just bypass it. That still doesn't take away from Static Shock, black superhero. But I mean, somebody said only God can judge, I guess. What else? D Love says some girls set my cousin's hair on fire on the bus and they were jealous of her. Whoo, man, that's crazy. That is wild. That is wild. Lord. All right, let's go to the next one.
First interested in getting locks, I wanted micro locks or like sister locks. So I remember calling a few different people to inquire about how it works, etc. I called one lady in particular who was recommended to me by a friend. This friend goes to her for other braided hairstyles. I called her. I said, hey, I'm interested in getting micro locks, sister locks. How's this work? She said, yeah, for sure. But let me know first, what is your hair texture? I said, oh, my hair's 4C. Guys, when I tell you word for word, verbatim, this is what she said to me. She said, oh, are you sure your hair texture is not more beautiful than that? I said, sorry? Because there's no way she said that. So I said, sorry, huh? And she's like, some people think their hair's 4C, but usually it's not like that, And I said, I honestly couldn't tell you what I said. This was years ago. But I remember hanging up the phone and saying to my friend, oh my gosh, do you know what your hairstylist just said to me? That's crazy. She wouldn't even be able to touch a pubic hair, let alone a hair on my head with that type of attitude. And he's like, oh yeah,
it's a pubic hair.
I think he did say, yeah, it's kind of crazy. Men, they're like, oh, it's kind of crazy. So, and that still sticks with me today. And this is why having locks, especially to me, this right here is peak lock. Grown out, no edges, beautiful. I love my hair like this. But when I hear any comment about texturism and specifically 4C hair, because no one knows I don't want to say struggle because that may sound like a negative thing, but really it is the way people impose and project their hair negativity and hair insecurity on 4C girls, especially people who embrace their natural hair texture. Yeah. I would never get down with it. I would never get down with it.
Yeah, the video started glitching out, just a little bit. Um, but I also do want to note, going back to like the whole Static Shock thing. That was created by, a whole black team, black writers, artists, Milestone Comics. If you don't know what that is, look them up. Like I said, that was back in like the 90s. So again, during the 90s, you had a lot of folks that were like, all right, we're getting back in touch with our roots and all this other type of stuff, and rah. Again, that was for the time period. So again, dealing with the early 2000s, when you had Zeta Beta, you had Static Shock, you had the Justice League and everything else coming out, you're going to see quite a bit of that directly there, because that's the mental setting that a lot of people were in, during that time. But as somebody else listed, as Lunch listed, it's like, yeah, you don't throw that away, because it had a lot of powerful episodes. Like, it dealt with race, it dealt with family. First of all, let me put it to you like this, getting away from the hair conversation for a little bit. Static Shock was a very positive show because it was a black father who was raising both of his kids. Again, that's an image that you don't really get a chance to see, because usually when they do it, they want to, it's the black mother, she's always raising the kids, yada yada yada, she's the only one that can do it. Nah, you got a black father that was sitting up there doing it. And I think he was also the principal or whatnot of the school, or a counselor or something like that. Like I said, raising a black boy and a black girl, in a hood, and having to deal with everything like that. And there was also an episode with Richie dealing with racism. If you don't know who Richie is Static Shock's friend, is his white friend, and Richie's father is a bigot, right? Or subtle, racist. And you can basically get that by the tone and the way that he talks, and especially when Virgil comes over and he eats directly at the dinner table and stuff that his father was sitting up there saying to Virgil, or around Virgil and stuff like that. Like I said, it was crazy. Like I said, it's a lot of powerful episodes, so it don't make sense to write it off, because you see like a little bit of like some Pan-Africanism stuff directly up in there. Like I said, that don't make no sense. You barely got black superheroes with cartoons and stuff of that nature at this moment. So, just saying. Technically, the closest thing that you got that they did was Black Lightning. That was another good show. Black superhero, all black family, everybody had powers and everything in a sense, and you had a black father that was there for his family, right? So, and they had their complexities and and everything of the sort. But yeah, just saying. Just saying. D Love says SEIJIHITO cross thoughts. Lunch says Static Shock episode speaking about parents spending any time with their kids and how to deal with past loved ones. Yeah. Yep. Let me see. Lunch said facts. Yeah. But yeah, like this black woman, going back to the video, like this black woman was sitting up there stating here, it was not a black man that sat up there and told her something about her hair, or made a joke or anything of the sort. That was somebody else. The exact same people that the other women prior to this video set up there said that, oh, they get all of these compliments, they're deemed to be gods and queens and everything positive. But when it comes to the black community, especially black men, that's not what happens. But yet this black woman is like, yeah, that's not her experience. It's not specifically what happened to her. And yeah, and I know that because I've heard dudes of other races specifically talking about black women's hair, especially online. Like I said, I try to tell a lot. Like I said, this is why I laugh when you got these divestors out here that, and again, when I'm talking about divestors, I'm talking about the ones that primarily and mainly hate black men. They have a loathing, they have a dislike, contempt, whatever you want to sit up there and say when it deals with black men, the dissenting comments and all of the sort. I laugh because I can go to the most racist sites and I can look at all of the images and pictures and the threads and the conversations over 10, 15, and 20 years that white men have specifically had. I'm talking about hundreds of thousands, tens of thousands of white men have had openly on these sites that anybody can go to online, and how it is that they see, deem, and talk about black women. But yet you don't have divestors that want to openly talk about those sites or call those to be problematic or call it out for specifically what it is. But they want to paint this narrative as though that those are the only and primarily the only men on the planet that actually love black women, and especially black women in their natural hair, and especially black women who are darker complected. Like I said, crazy work. Crazy work. Diabolical. So let's go to the next video.
But every time I heard a woman say, y'all don't like tight full hair, y'all only like tight full hair when it's long, and it's just like, duh, lady. No, but all jokes aside, when you got tight full hair and it looks long, like you have a lot of volume and it's up high and a lot of stuff, that's an accomplishment because you got to take so much care of it. That type of hair deserves praise. And I know there are a few ladies who got that full C texture where they have like super shrinkage. Like they can start off with a fro and pull their hair all the way down. But let's just be honest, that's not the bulk of y'all. The bulk of y'all want to be able to pull your hair out of weave after not taking care of it, after not deep conditioning, not getting trims. You want somebody to praise you simply for having hair, even though you ain't taking care of it, sweetheart. And we not just about to cater to your feelings like that. We don't care that much. I'm sorry. I keep telling y'all, the men of this generation, we grow our hair out so we know what it looks like to have shrinkage. We know what a healthy head of hair looks like. So when you get up here in your natural hair and you ain't been taking care of it, don't expect us to be rah-rah giving you the compliments that we give the girl that has clearly put in months and years of work. Why would you expect to get the same praise as her? I don't understand. Like, I understand in recent days when, oh, they only wanted 3C hair that was down their back. But in today's time, men understand hair like none other. So when we see somebody that's really doing it with a certain texture and we like, yo, I know how much effort that took, we give them praise. But we also know what it looks like when you got that texture and you ain't been doing shit with it. So don't expect us to just praise you just for having hair, sweetheart. That's not what's going on. We not out here complimenting just to make you feel better. We're complimenting because we actually like the hair.
Yep. Everything he said was 100%. Why compliment somebody who ain't really do the work? It don't make sense. All of the compliments should be going to the women who are automatically taking care of their hair. They didn't sat up there and went through the quote unquote, as people like to say, the ugly phase where, you know, the hair, like let's say even if you're growing a fro, there's a certain type of like jacked, or I guess you could say like an ugly phase when it deals with like the fro, when it's just not looking exactly right. But once it starts getting like the length, it starts getting the fullness and the volume, then it is, you know, it's vastly different. It takes a lot to sit up there and go through that and to keep up with that, especially knowing how it is that people are going to also look directly at you, may have to make comments and all this other type of stuff. But again, those women, they stay directly with it. They work directly with it by way of either keeping it in like a fro, or they may do it in another quote unquote protective style, which would be twist, right? It might be some knots or different things of that sort. And then it'll, you know, you'll sit up there and see it to what it is. Like I said, he didn't say nothing wrong. He didn't say nothing wrong. He was very clear directly about it. Those who work very much hard on their hair deserve all the love and praise. People who take shortcuts and ain't really doing nothing, yeah, you don't deserve no love and praise. He is 100% right. Hard work and dedication, you know, hard work and dedication. Yes, all I'm saying, hard work and dedication. What was it? Let me see. Tippy said he basically said it. Black men like long, thick hair, not shrinkage hair. Tippy, are you? Come on now, Tippy. If you don't stop, I swear to goodness, woman. If you do not stop, who? What? Hold on, I'm a little bit confused. What self hate are you talking about? What are you? You said there's no logic in that standing, and hence why you're projecting an illusionary self-hate from us as you're validating casualty. What? Who are you even responding to? I'm a little bit confused. Who's that? The whoever the some person is, I don't even know who you responded to. I mean, I guess he's just typing to somebody else in the comment section, I guess. I don't know. So Black said FBA men like all types of natural hairstyles from long to short. Yes. Tippy said, would they like it if the cover girl on GTA rocked a Fro 4C? See, this is the problem, Tippy. You're asking a wrong demographic. The primary demographic of the men who are complaining about the cover of GTA, even at this point where they were trying to make her white or lighter, that wasn't black men at all. That was white and Hispanic and other men. So if the GTA girl on the cover showed up as with like a fro, you would have heard an outcry like never before in gaming, and it would primarily come directly from white men and white adjacent and white like. I promise you, that's the main people. I'm not talking about the dumb conservatives, the few far and in between dumb black conservatives who want to jump on any type of bandwagon when it deals with seeing black people somewhere. I ain't talking about them. I'm talking about the ones who are overwhelmingly directly within those spaces. When you think about PC gamers, you don't think about no other color or nationality but white. When you also think about gaming, you don't think about no other color or nationality but white. Like I said, the primary suspects. You said so someone was saying I was talking to the black woman that text above the comment home. Okay. Okay. University said, oh no, Tippy's hair is natural though. That's the one thing I can't sit up there and say. Uh as a reply back to son, Tippy's hair is natural. She's had both natural, her hair just like naturally out, or braids. Like the long like braids, sort of like 90s like type of style. So yeah, Tippy is not the the type of woman to sit up there and just be just doing like vast chemicals like in her hair. And Tippy has a lot of hair. So yeah, she don't that's not what she does. I can at least say that. Um was the university said, here's the thing. So what if you don't get comments? Why do you need outside validation? That's bars. That is bars. Lunt said, and you can throw that logic onto men too. If I haven't kept myself up, I don't expect the same acknowledgement as a man that do. Yeah, that's bars. That's 100%. Yeah, that's 100%, 1,000%. Like I said, I never walk outside and think that, yo, man, just because I'm a dude, I deserve like just like these bodybuilders. I deserve like all the attention that they sit up there. Nah, that's crazy. That's nonsensical. That'd be the most wildest. That would be beyond delusion. That would, I don't know what type of drugs that would have to be, or what universe it would come from, but that would have to be some stuff locked away because the delusion that would surface from that would be insane. Would be drastically insane. Crazy, crazy, crazy. It's crazy work. Tippy was like, I try as hard. No, like I said, you just got to sit up there and keep working directly on it. You just got to be consistent. That's the main, the hardest part. I put it to you like this, to be the hardest part about anything is to just be consistent. Be consistent. It's like that's the hardest thing to sit up there and do when it deals with anything. It don't matter if it's like your dreams. It don't matter if it's your jobs. It don't matter if it's like relationships with friends and family. Um, or whatever it is that's going on in life. The hardest thing to do is be consistent. It's not starting it's being consistent and staying directly with it. Because a lot of times you'll start something like, I just want to quit this. I just want to, nah, I want to do this some more. You got to be consistent. Because the main thing I told people before is that through consistency, you will start to get a work ethic. And because of that consistency and that work ethic, now it's just like an everyday thing like breathing. Right? At one point in time when it dealt with folks, just getting to the planet, like breathing was a job, right? You really didn't, know it because you're coming directly out of water, right? So you gotta sit up there and get used to it. And then because of repetition, because of consistency, it became normal. Now you don't even sit up there and think about it. Right? The same thing like everything else. Well, just like with hair and taking care of it, just gotta be consistent. What was it? Moon said, I don't know if males really have a preference, natural or permed. If they're interested, they will pursue you. That is also true as well, too. If a man is interested, a man is interested. It don't matter how a woman looks. Like I didn't I done seen some videos out here on X. If a dude is just interested, a guy is just interested. It just be like that. You know? Um Somebody said he's a punk. Why do he care? I'm a little bit confused. Now, I'm trying to figure out from which side of the community that one is directly coming, from. Because usually when somebody sit up there and make the reference towards somebody being a punk, usually you'll have women say it, and usually you'll have men from said community, LGBT, that will normally say it. Last but not least, you would have straight black men sit up there and say it. So I'm just trying to figure out what side of the aisle this is directly coming from, and specifically who this individual is directed at, towards the person talking or the image on the screen. Because people tend not to put ats. Like I just don't understand. Like I'm not understanding how hard it is to just put at and then write what it is that you want to write, or use text to speech, talk to text, or whatever it is. A little bit confusing. Black said men are going to gravitate to what they're attracted to. That's men in general. Bars. That's bars. Tippy said the difference is that black men don't switch up hairstyles every week. We're women. We like different looks sometimes. We like straight hair to give our hair a break for a weekend. Sunset, no problem with different looks, but just acknowledge that your main look is another woman's natural hairstyle, God given, and you say you believe in the same God, but don't like the natural style that God gave you. University said, I've seen with lesbian hair. I mean, their hair is, you said, ate out and chewed out hair, and they be having wait, huh? Wait, wait, University. I'm a little bit confused because when you said that, that's not how it came across. So I might need you to rewrite that one, because that just threw me directly for a loop. That threw me completely off. All I saw was like lesbians and then ate out and chewed. I'm like, huh? I'm like, what part of the live stream are we on? Like, how do we get here? How do we get here? But now let's go to the next video.
Dana Dane made a video about y'all men not liking that 4C hair. And she told the truth, and I'm glad she brought
Men
this.
like natural hair. The reason why the women don't believe y'all is because you be lying. A lot of y'all are liars. I'm going to hug you when I tell you a lot of y'all are lying. All right? You do not like 4C natural hair.
You said lesbian hair
You
is
don't. And the
broken off
reason
hair. Okay, I
why
got you.
the women have a hard time believing it is because they know that when their hair is in its natural state, you don't pay them no attention. And as soon as they put that bust down in their head, as soon as they put that Spanish wave, Spanish curl in their head with some baby hair, now all of a sudden they got your attention. All right, so you're gonna have a hard time debating this with women when they see how you act.
So let me just pause it real quick. I just wanna sit up there and state. So I put it like this: two things can be true at the same time, right? You got black men out here that say one thing and they mean something else, right? Cool, right? That's on the page that she's on. Cool, right? But at the same time of which what she's not listening and what the other women, where the video is going to come back in and come back to the original woman who first started off the video, what they're both not listening is that they're talking about men of which that they entertain. Again, men of which that they find attractive enough to give attention to, or allow those men to be in their space to even get to know or to talk to them. They're not talking about everyday dudes that's just passing by. They're on the freeway. They're going, to and from the market, working like their two jobs. They're single and just working on themselves. They're not talking about none of those other dudes. They're only talking about the ones that they find to be attractive and that they specifically had these conversations with and that they entertain. Like I said, there needs to be another another layer added on to this conversation, because a lot of that stuff is missing. This is why I have a problem when people want to try to generalize, because it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. But let's continue.
Versus what you say. You know how we talk about how women say one thing but they do another? You men do exactly the same thing. You say one thing and you do another too. All right, we're not gonna act like it's just women who got this bad habit of saying one thing, but then their actions don't align with it. Y'all's are the same thing, right? Like every time they see you somewhere making over girls who got hair like Zendaya, they have a hard time believing that what you really want was Lupita. Excuse us if we have a hard time believing it.
So she did the Zendaya and Lupita thing. Zendaya is biracial. Lupita is I guess you can consider her like Afro Latina or Black Mexican, however it is that she, specifically, framed it. And Lupita has talked about this, before. Um, and then on top of that, you got the whole color complexion thing and the whole texture. Like it's, I guess, I guess she's trying to say that Zendaya's Becky with the good hair. I guess, and that I don't know, dog. It's just like this is just it's very, very nerve wracking. It's very, very nerve wracking. And like I said before, the thing that is the problem is that the comparison that happens is crazy because I'm like you got what light skinned black women that have 4C hair. I saw one of them on TikTok and she was talking about how she feels not validated or not wanted or she doesn't get the attention that she wants because she doesn't fit this typical beauty standard. I'm like, dog, you are light. How are you sitting up here talking about you got problems or you're not fitting in the beauty? Like, yo, the Jesus Christ. Yo, like I tell y'all, some of the videos that I watch and I don't add in here, like that's the whole reason that I don't, because a lot of times it just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make any type of sense. And I always thought that Lupita was attractive. I saw her in what's the name in Black Panther. I'm like, yo, that's Lupita. I'm like, Jesus. And then I saw Lupita in an interview for I think the second movie, and she was like wearing like a dress. I'm like, wow. I'm like, look at Lupita. I'm like, that is crazy. I'm like, she don't even need a chair. I'm like, that is wild. But yeah, it's, it's wild though. But let's keep going.
When every time we see the girls that you date or the girls who you interested in or the girls who, if you doing a list of baddies, you never list girls with 4C hair. Sue us. But you got to start making it make sense. And more likely than not, when you start getting into the black men who truly embrace and love natural hair, you know those men when you see those men, because those men are usually artsy. Those men are usually not your typical black guys, right?
What does that mean?
And so it makes sense that
Nah. Nope. No. We got to walk that back real quick. We got to walk that back. I want y'all to notice and understand this very clearly. There was a video that I watched a while ago where a woman in Atlanta was sitting up there speaking on why she would never date men in Atlanta. And she was basically saying that primarily the greater majority of black men that are there is they're gay. They're either gay or bi or somewhere, else in the LGBT spectrum. And she was basically stating that you'll know this by if they're artsy or if they dress a certain type of way or talk this type of way. And she was like, this is why she would deal with black dudes who are outside of Atlanta, like from like the hood or like the country areas and all this other type of stuff. So when I now hear this woman, she's talking about the black dudes are artsy. I'm like, so what are you trying to say? Because whenever I've heard RT being mentioned, automatically that black dude is either bi or gay, or you're trying to say that the dude is feminine, or you're trying to say that he's not into black women. So I'm just trying to figure out what specifically does she mean, because like I said, there's always something behind a lot of these words whenever it specifically deals with black men. Because usually if the conversation is already negative about black men, you're not going to really hear anything positive or too positive.
they would not be so worldly and caught up in, the things that society tells you is beautiful, right? But you can kind of miss the girls with this whole you like natural now, and the only exception to this would be you like black hair when it's long, right? Like you can get a pass if you may have 4C hair and it's long, but you keep it straight. You keep it straight most of the time. Or again, maybe you got 4A hair, right? They can deal with a little 4A too. Little 3B, 4A mix, 4B is kind of pushing it. All right, but when you get into 4C, yeah, the girls know y'all be lying. The girls know you be lying. But you girls are not off the hook either. Because you know that the men like this, you conform, right? And now you don't even like yourself with the 4C
She
hair
told the
either.
truth, and I'm glad she brought this video up because I've been thinking about this for quite some time now. Y'all men don't like no 4C hair, what y'all call nappy hair. You know how I know? Because when I was in school, in elementary school, and thank God I had long hair, so my mama was able to put mine back in a ponytail. I had long hair back in school. But I would hear, even at a young age in elementary school, how the little boys would be calling the little girls that didn't have long hair, short hair, when we didn't have all these chemicals and stuff flowing back then. You had to wear what you had, or you got what they call a pressing comb with a hot comb. So the girls would come to school with a little cute afro or whatever, and the guys would be little kids now messing with little girls talking about nappy head, making songs about it at an early age, y'all. These young men, children, didn't like no 4C hair. Because if that's the case, why would they be picking at little young girls? And even now, I might see a woman with a beautiful afro or something like that. I done been at work and a woman have a beautiful afro kinked all out and stuff. And what a man gonna say? Ooh, her hair nappy. She need to get something done to her hair. So when I say something like this, I thought that what y'all like. Yeah, but you got to get it done. No, baby. 4C hair is that afro.
So let me pause it right there. I'm listening to her and it sounds like she from the country. And usually down over around those parts, you got a lot of folks that want to be ignorant about a lot of stuff. And a lot of that stuff, like I said, if you normally hear black dudes talking some type of way about a black woman's hair, they done already normally heard it directly from the black woman in their family. They got sisters, they got aunts, they got, moms and grandmothers. Like I said, I've heard it directly in my household. I've heard it directly from the women in my family. I did not at any normal point in time have a thought process to negatively talk about a black girl's hair. Again, the only negativity that I was in a sense um I'm not even gonna say indoctrinated into because that's not anything that I carry with me. That I was able to see and hear. I heard this directly from my grandmother. My grandmother was from, down south. She would refer to hair, as being nappy or unkept and all this other type of stuff and rah 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 and everything that came directly with it. So like I said before, again, I did not hear this type of talk and nonsense from any of my uncles. Like I said, I got problems with my uncles, but that wasn't any of the conversations that I was privy to, that I was around, that I was even a part of. But I heard too many times black women in my family, it don't matter the age range, they had something to say about another black woman's hair. But like I said, have them sit up there and tell it, they're not going to add that into how that could potentially change or give a negative perspective directly to a young black boy who's going to develop into a young black man into an older man, and then he's going to carry all of that he heard specifically from women first. People ain't going to sit up there and talk about that. But let's keep going.
So if you really like a woman with natural hair, let's talk about this. If you really like her with natural hair, you like that afro. So another man said something, but you got to get it done, get it cut or something. I done seen women with pretty afros cut and the men still say they don't like it like that. It's nappy looking. Okay, now let's go to the weaves and all this stuff. Men talk about natural women, no lashes, no weave and all this stuff, but you always talk to them women. You know why? Because that's what you like. That's what you like. And a lot of times, let's be honest, it's the men's fault because the women are so insecure because y'all steady call them nappy head. That's
The craziest part is because she's stuck on like this elementary type of thing. I didn't heard black girls sit up there and say something like say stuff about my hair. Like I didn't have black girls like my hair better when it was in cornrows during the time or when I had twists. They wasn't really saying that when it was in a fro. So I'm like, I'm not understanding. I've been called nappy before, but I didn't sit up there and take it no type of way. That didn't make me hate my hair. or want to sit up there and just like cut it off because of that, or that didn't make me hate myself. Like like I said, I don't know what. Like I said, I'm here. All I'm looking at is a lot of projection. Like a lot of the stuff that I would get in my comment sections, a woman be like, "Yeah, you got a lot of these men. They carry stuff from like elementary school and they just unhealed." Nah, this woman right here sound unhealed, and this wasn't even her experience. She's carrying the experiences of other people that she sat up there and seen. Like that don't even make no type of sense. You're carrying on their trauma as if it is your own, and then you're trying to push this story out in a sense almost as if it's something that you specifically experienced. First of all, she's light. I can tell you, it don't matter how her hair would have looked. She was not really. She would not have been having no problems. Let me just make that very, very clear. She would not have been having no type of problems at all. But like I said, and you heard what she said up there said before, she was like, luckily I had, long hair and I didn't have to sit up there and deal with. Yeah, of course. We know. We can obviously see how your hair is. We know that you didn't have those problems, but yet you want to be the spokesperson for problems, even though you didn't face them. Gotcha.
Right. If a woman really was secure in her 4C hair, she wouldn't have to get relaxed and stuff like that. And I thank God I don't have 4C hair. It's like in between. But still, as a woman, I should be proud of the texture of hair that God gave me. You know what I'm saying? But because of you men, women have to keep their hair done. They're
Huh?
ashamed of the texture of their hair, so they put a wig on. Y'all quit lying. And the only reason y'all cheap ass men don't like all them wigs, lashes, makeup and stuff, because a lot of times when you see a woman like that you're attracted to, you be like, dawg, I might have to pay for this.
What? How did we go? Oh, brother. Oh my God. This woman is too old to be. We went from elementary school to now back into the future. So now we're at the present day, and she's sitting up here like, oh, y'all don't really like us with our natural hair with this 4C. Y'all be lying. And then when you happen to see, women that got their hair done and all this other type of stuff with the wigs and whatnot, the reason why y'all really don't like that, on top of not liking the 4C hair, is because you don't want to sit up there and pay for the hair and everything that comes with it. What? So now we're just broke now? Come on, dog. Oh my God. Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ. But let me sit up there and say this because I'm a brokey, right? I'm brokey. My thing is, if women do their hair for themselves, why should a man have to pay for it? Don't women don't women sit up there and get their nails done and do it for themselves?
If a woman had a sign up that's saying, hey, I buy my own makeup, I buy my own lashes and wigs, y'all ain't got to worry about that, y'all wouldn't care. You cheap men think that you're gonna have to be responsible for the upkeep of that stuff. But guess what? You ain't gotta worry about it because y'all done made the women so insecure. They gonna make sure they keep them wigs on, them lashes on, and a face full of makeup because y'all talking about them all the time. And I don't care what y'all say. This is what I see. How a man know when a woman track slipping? That's you know what I'm saying? It's y'all fault, men. It's y'all fault. Y'all do not like a woman with natural hair. Stop lying. I done been at work and a woman have a beautiful afro kinked all out and stuff. And what a man gonna say? Ooh, her hair nappy. She need to get something done to her hair. So when I say something like this, I thought that what y'all like. Yeah, but you gotta get it done. No, baby. 4C hair is that afro. So if you really like a woman with natural hair, let's talk about this. If you really like her with natural hair, you like that afro. So another man said something, but you got to get it done, get it cut or something. I done seen women with pretty afros cutting and men still say they don't like it like that. It's nappy looking. Okay, now let's go to the weaves and all this stuff. Men talk about natural women, no lashes, no weave, and all this stuff. But you always talk to them women. You know why? Because that's what you like. That's what you like. And a lot of times, let's be honest, it's the men fault because the women are so insecure because y'all steady call them nappy head. That's right. If a woman really was secure in her 4C hair, she wouldn't have to get relaxed and stuff like that. And I thank God I don't have 4C hair. It's like in between. But still, as a woman, I should be proud of the texture of hair that God gave me. You know what I'm saying? But because of you men, women have to keep their hair done. They're ashamed of the texture of their hair, so they put a wig on. Y'all quit lying. And the only reason y'all cheap ass men don't like all them wigs, lashes, makeup and stuff, because a lot of times when you see a woman like that you're attracted to, you be like, dawg, I might have to pay for this. If a woman had a sign up that's saying, hey, I buy my own makeup, I buy my own lashes and wigs, y'all ain't got to worry about that, y'all wouldn't care. You cheap men think that you're gonna have to be responsible for the upkeep of that stuff. But guess what? You ain't gotta worry about it because y'all done made the women so insecure. They gonna make sure they keep them wigs on, them lashes on, and a face full of makeup because y'all talking about them all the time. And I don't care what y'all say. This is what I see. How a man know when a woman track slipping? That's you know what I'm saying? It's y'all fault, men. It's y'all fault. Y'all do not like a woman with natural hair. Stop lying.
I'm just trying to figure out the main person who we all know probably never had an issue with like getting men's attention is a spokesperson for problems. Is a spokesperson for all of this. Like I'm a little bit confused. Like I'm highly confused. Like I said, I understand when like other women basically come on and they sit up there and say stuff. I get it. But her, I don't even understand what this is even like specifically about. I don't even understand it. And on top of that, she kept saying men, men, men. She was talking about black men. She wasn't talking about men, and she wasn't talking about white men, Arab men, African men, Jamaican men, Haitian men, Mexican men, Latin men. She wasn't talking about no other men but black men. Like I said, I wish people would be direct and to the point when they speak and they do these videos instead of trying to do these generalities and all this other type of stuff. It doesn't make any type of sense. But then to again try to say that black men are broke because they don't want to, take care of the up. Like, dog, some of these wigs out here be costing like 2 grand. Like, there was a moment in time that them bad boys costing 2 grand. Dog, that's rent. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Like, I would have rather sit up there and pay for a woman to upkeep her natural hair. Why am I sitting up there spending 2 grand on something that you're about to take down, on an install that you're about to sit up there and take down in like a month or a month and a half? What? Brother, what are we talking about? That's crazy. I would rather sit up there and look through whatever articles, do whatever research is needed to get the shampoos, to get the conditioners, to get this, to get that, to sit up there and deal with the natural hair and to have her wear that versus 2,000. That's ridiculous. That's some people's mortgage. That's like a car note. That's several different bills. $2,000, brother. And she up here saying, "Oh yeah, that's because you black men are broke. Y'all can't afford that." You right. I can't afford that. You right. I'm broke. You are. I can never afford that. That's ridiculous. You know how much money? That's a black hole dealing with money. That's money that you will never see come back. You're making an investment in something that's never going to appreciate. Like what? Like what? That's crazy. That's 1,000% crazy. That is 1,000% crazy. Like, do you know what you can do with $2,000? Do you know how you can sit up there and invest that and have that actually bring back more money? Like, what? And then you wanted to and then she wanted to bring up the makeup. Like, everything that she listed is chemically causing problems to black women. Everything she listed chemically is causing problems to sit up there and to black women. But you're saying that we're broke because we can't afford to poison you faster. Really? Like I said, when you put things in a perspective, it makes the opinions of others look incredibly stupid. Everything that she listed that she called black men broke for are poisonous to black women. Everything. She didn't give you or list a healthy alternative to any of the stuff that she's sitting up there talking about, especially that makeup. Like, this is crazy. This is 1,000% crazy. Like, this is why I be talking about. This is why I sat up there and said before, the worst thing to come out of the pandemic was a lot of these folks like this that decided to get on social media, that wanted to start podcasts, that wanted to sit up there and start up channels and be on platforms. That was the worst possible thing that came directly out of the pandemic, because everybody who has a voice doesn't need to speak. Because this is the type of ignorance that you will have women out here backing up. You will have a lot of the ratchets. You'll have a lot of the hood rats backing this type of stuff up, which makes no sense. The loudest minority in the black community will back this nonsense, this type of foolishness up. Like I said, this is ridiculous. Like I said, she and many others will be the exact same types to sit up there and get their daughter an install. I done sat up there and gave y'all videos before of a mother that sat up there. I think her daughter was probably about like 5, maybe like 5, 6, or 7, and she was getting her daughter's hair permed. The baby was sitting up there getting lye and whatnot, relaxers put directly in her hair. I'm like, what are you? I'm like, CPS, take this child. Take this child right now. Take this child. I'm like, you do not deserve to have a child at all. Like I said before, man, all of this type of stuff right here, this is what I be talking about. There was 0 ounce of responsibility or acceptance or acknowledgement of any fault that was directly on those women that decided to do it. Everything was like, oh, it's the black man's fault. And then what was it? I had somebody earlier trying to sit up there and say whatever about me because I was misinterpreting or all this stuff. I'm like, no, I know exactly what I'm talking about. I know exactly what it is that I'm hearing when I watch these videos. Some people will openly just outwardly say it so that you can clearly hear it, like this dummy here, or then other ones will decide to sit up there and try to play around with words. But you get what it is that they're saying if you read between the lines. Like, this is ridiculous. That's 1,000% ridiculous. And I want people to understand that the reason that I have this reaction, I didn't watch the video fully through. I knew it was stupid. That's why I got it initially, but I didn't know that it was this stupid. That's ridiculous. That is 1,000% ridiculous. You got black women going through cancer. They're going through fibroids. You got black women out here that are losing their edges. You got all types of stuff, especially different things going on with the glue and causing harm to the skin and everything. Like I said, there's a lot of things going on. But it's like, you're like, we're too broke to poison you quicker. Okay. And then I'll be broke. Like I said, I'm not going to have no hand in it. Go deal with those dudes out there that want to sit up there and poison you and send you directly to an early grave for your own ignorance because you value beauty more than your health. Go out there and sit up there and do that. I'm not the one. I'm not the one. Nope. Like I said, I am not the one. That is crazy. That is 1,000% crazy to say some dumb foolishness like this. And that's what I be talking about. And she is old enough to know. If I would have heard something like this, let's say if the girl was like, let's say like 18, 19, 20, like mid 20s. All right, I get how stupid that she can be at a young age. I got that. Cool. No problem. I can give some excuses to that. Some. This right here, to be this old and to be this dumb is ridiculous. To be this dumb and to be this old is 1,000% ridiculous. Like I said, people used to sit up there and say, with age comes wisdom. Obviously, with age comes great stupidity, because that's what it is. Uncle Ben was like, with great powers comes great responsibility. With great age, here comes great stupidity. That's exactly what I'm dealing with. You too old to be talking like this. You too old to be still caught up on some stuff dealing with elementary and bringing that as if that's now. Like I said, she couldn't give you her own experiences because she knows that she did not have the stereotypical experiences, quote unquote, that they want to talk about, that all these other black women have always had. Like, magically, every black woman in the community has always had these examples. That black men never loved them, that black men never loved the texture of their hair, that black men da 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 da. Notice she can't say any of that because she did not have that life. She told you that. She mentioned a little snippet of that before she did this long, drawn-out thing, as if she was reading stories from Reddit or somebody's blog or a transcript off of somebody's video. Like I said, that is 1,000% crazy. And then, like I said, the main common theme that you heard from a lot of these videos is that they wanted to say that black men were liars, that black men do not love black women with their natural hair. But I'm like, what black men, out of all of these black communities, how many of these black women decided to take a poll and to ask any of those black men? Matter of fact, how many of these black women have taken a poll to see the relationships of which these black men are in or have been in, and the types of skin complexions of the black women, the hair textures of these black women? Like I said, if you were to really start doing that throughout the black community, this whole narrative that a lot of these folks are spinning will look completely stupid. Because I keep telling people the highest selling thing that you can do in the black community is to talk negatively about black men. Number one, talk negatively about black men. If you can't find a way to do that, talk about the black community in general. Any which one of the two will gain you and get you the most, attention, celebrity, money, and all this other type of stuff. Trust me, I done seen it for over 10 years, and I done seen platforms climb and move. I'm talking about overshooting whatever original mark that they had, and they're in a whole nother galaxy. Like I said, I keep telling people the easiest way to sit up there and get to a lot of these black women out here is to speak emotions. Not speak logic, speak emotions. All you gotta do is that, get directly and tap into whatever their emotions. Maybe they didn't have a father. Maybe this black man did this. Maybe the father of their child is basically this. Maybe this one black man sat up there and said, all you got to do is tap into that. It's over. It's over. Platform is already built. It's already sold. Money's going to sit up there and start coming, running directly in. And then if you got a horror story that you can sit up there and, directly leech directly off of or something like that, oh, it's over. It's over. You don't even got to have your own story. All you got to do is just use a story of somebody else. Like, what was that one story that was happening? I think, what was it, like 2023? Somewhere during the I said panda. Somewhere during the pandemic, what was it? Rhonda Osman, the Somalian or whatever she was, the one that wanted to, the African, she wanted to sit up and say that black men attacked her and hit her with a brick, the brick lady. We never saw the brick. We never saw the three men. No, magically, no videos. Nobody got caught. Nobody got arrested. Nobody was charged. Nobody served any time. But you know who was charged and served time? She did. You know what happened during that time online? Black women everywhere was like, yeah, this is what we're talking about with black men. You saw what a lot of the quote unquote simpletons were sitting up there doing online. Like, yeah, see, this is what we talking about when it deals with, us black men in the black community. Look at how some of these black men out here moving. Look at how y'all don't want to sit up there and talk about and bring awareness to what's happening out here to black. And this is when people want to start bringing up all of these horror stories. But all to sit up there and find out that the African tapped into the emotional spectrum when it dealt with black women, told a very good story, sold a very good tale, and sat up there and robbed black women blind for $40K. Shout out to Daphne Sutton for staying directly on that case. Because she was one of the main, if not the only black woman that stayed directly on that case consistently. Sent everything to the police and got that woman put directly behind bars where she should have been from the beginning as the liar that she is. But what did we happen to see any of those black women that wanted to make all of those videos talking about black men for those weeks and potentially that month? Did they want to sit up there and deliver an apology and say that they was wrong? Nope, never happened. Like I said before, the easiest way to sit up there and come up and to make some money real quick and to get subscribers, start talking negatively about black men. That's all you got to do. Like I said, Rhonda Osman did it. She got $40K directly off of black women. Crazy work. Diabolical. That was one of the greatest come ups that I was able to actually watch and see. They were throwing money at that GoFundMe. If that GoFundMe was not frozen at the time that it was, she probably would have had like 100K. And also, I want to remind people that she magically came out flashing money and she ended up getting work done on her body. I was like, wow, that was quick. She came out as a brand new person. I'm like, oh, she put that money that black women just threw at her to work real quick. And then I also showcased videos where she was sitting up there talking about black women as well too. She was talking real greasy, but I'm like, I guess black women didn't see those videos. I guess because Rhonda Osman was not a black man, it didn't count. It didn't matter. I guess they were like, we'll let bygones be bygones. It seems like this black dude got to you, so we feel sorry for you. So let's throw, 40 grand directly up at her. Yeah, you said that she did that 2 other times. Yeah. I think she did that in another state as well. So I know what you're talking about. I did my best to sit up there and cover that during that time. Let me tell you. D-Money said, nope, we still got blame for it. Yeah. And you still got some women out there still trying to blame black men for that too. I'm like, dog, what is wrong? Like, yo, just it's okay. I'm like, at this point, I'm like, yo, I get it. You're a divester, swirler. You want to be with white men and men of other races. And in order for you to show that you are going to bow down and kiss the ring and that you're going to fully submit, you have to do this whole ritual of basically talking about black men. I get it, I understand it, but it's like y'all got to come up with something else. I'm like, this is tiring. I'm like, it's just it gets to the point where it's like, really, we're doing this again. We're doing this again. Same exact thing, like nothing different. I'm like, okay, all right. Yo, Shan, what is up? What is up? What is up? You said eyeshadow is different than eyelashes. You also said, yeah, I'm telling she not mad at black men. She's blaming black people for clout, but the real person who hates her is herself. D Love said, I stopped paying attention to her when she first demanded a black man should have helped her. Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. University said I knew Brick Lady was lying. I was trying to tell them on Insta and they took my page down. Oh, yeah, during that time, like, yo, trust me, I know what you're talking about. During certain times where things are really hot, yo, people would just come out attacking you. Like, yo, I remember let me paraphrase this because I gotta remind myself. During the 2020 to the 2023 area, I came out with some videos on IG. Those videos are probably still up there. And I was just trying to inform people and tell them some stuff. And I kid you not, yo, people were like, yo, man, we need to do something about this IG and this, that, and the third. And they were at an IG and all this other type of stuff. And they was really like running their mouths. And then when information ended up coming up some years later, I'm like, where y'all at? Because I'm like, y'all was talking real greasy during the time of of 2020 and whatnot, whatever, telling me I didn't know what I was talking about. But I'm like, what happened? Where y'all at? I'm like, y'all was talking real loud. I'm like, they real quiet right now. I'm like, yeah, because you understood. You understood. You ain't want to pay attention. You wanted to move stupid and be stupid and believe any and everything. So now you gotta deal and pay those consequences. Like I said, this is why I love doing what I do. Because I just know I just gotta wait. Because I just know I just gotta wait. Because I know that I'm gonna be proven right. And I was. It might have took some years, but I knew it was gonna happen. And now all of those people that wanted to say something on those IG videos, they don't got nothing to say. They might not even be here. So, like I said, it's wild out here. It is wild. Diabolical. Diabolical. Like, yo, I tell you, it is crazy, crazy work out here, man. Like, yo, I need people to do better. I need people 1,000% to sit up there and do better. 100%. But yes. All right. What is it now? 2 hours? Yeah, we've been going for like 2 hours. Yeah. So I had to sit up there and check something real quick, but I will. I think I have shout out to the person. I can't think of your name. Please forgive me. I had somebody in the comment section recently tell me about like, yo, Seji, did you see the videos about Hispanic folks getting mad at Kai Cenat dealing with the streaming university and everything of the sort? And I was like, nah, I'm like, let me sit up there and check. Let me look directly into it. And I got a video that I will have posted dealing with Kai Cenat and the streaming university. And I'm gonna note this right now. Again, I didn't already went over the whole thing about Kai Cenat saying stuff about black Americans. I'm not even dealing with that at this moment in time because I already covered, did a live stream, did standalone videos and all that other type of stuff. This one thing here is completely different because it solidifies and showcases what it was that, like I said, as an example, I know Kai Cenat is Haitian, but I'm saying as an example, when it deals with Black Americans and how it is if we decide to do things for ourselves or if we just want to move a certain type of way, everybody has a problem with it. So if you look at when it deals with the boycott, the ban, the blackout, the transference of wealth, whatever you want to call it, look at how the Asians, look at how white folks, look at how the conservative blacks, the Africans, and everybody else wanted to come out and basically get mad because Black Americans were like, hey, this is how we're going to spend our money. This is the way that we're going to move. And everybody was like basically getting mad at how it is that we told them that we're going to spend our money our way. Everybody got mad about that, and people ain't looking at it. Like that's the whole main thing that everybody got mad at, that we said that we're going to spend our money a certain type of way and we're going to selectively choose how to do. We're not just going to freely just give it to everybody anymore because everybody's been disrespectful. So when you look at this Kai Cenat situation, when I bring up the video, it's pretty much that exact same thing. And again, I want to also note the fact that a lot of these people who are Hispanic, they're the main ones that always wants to use the N word. So it's like, yeah, I'm not too shocked that they did not get put on when it deals with the streaming university, because a lot of them, I don't care if it's Twitch, I don't care if it's Party, I don't care if it's X, if it's IG, if it's TikTok, or whatever other platform, YouTube, whatever other platform that I didn't list. I didn't heard far too many times a variety of Hispanics out here just using N word for no reason, and I didn't see a black in sight. Like they using it towards like their kids, they family, they friends, they neighbors. I'm like, I don't see a black in sight. Like, what's happening? Like, who y'all talking to? Like, point them out real quick. I'm trying to look with binoculars and microscopes, like trying to find Waldo, and I still did not see a black in sight. So I'm like, why are y'all using that word? Because if it was the reverse, if whatever word that they basically got set up for them, if we started using that, they'll be trying to fight somebody. They'll call us racist. And these are the same folks that were also backing up Ashley Gonzalez. If you don't know who Ashley Gonzalez is, that was the cop that sat up there and got arrested. I mean, not arrested, I'm sorry. She was the cop. I think she was put on leave or she was dropped. It's been a minute from this video. Because she made a video specifically using N-word several times, saying stuff that she didn't have no business sitting up there doing. I think there was also some audio, some other audio recordings of her as well too. And did you really see the Hispanic community really talking about that or calling it out? Nope. But she had a lot of support. She had a lot of support, even still to this day. And then the craziest part dealing with the streamer university, now you got some Hispanics out there talking about like, yo, that's cool, whatever it is. We're going to start up our own streamer university. So I'm like, so Kai Cenat made this. So you mean to tell me that all this time that streaming has been a thing, that y'all didn't opt to make your own streaming university the very first time, that it took you at this point to do that? That's a little bit weird. If you really cared about your own people, if you really cared about pedestalizing yourself and really putting your people on, wouldn't you have already gotten together and have done that as a collective? Because you guys are a community, you got culture, you know yourselves, you got your own language, and wouldn't you have already have done that? Why would you wait up until Kai Cenat not accepting you into the streaming university in order to do this and to get it done? That's a bit weird. That leads me to think that you don't actually really care as much as you say that you really care. All right. Yo, what is up? We got the brother Brandon V World directly been here. What is up? What is up? What is up? You said yeah, she worked for the Houston Police Department. Diabolical work. What was it? Oh, shout out for the $4. Don't know, brother. You said diabolical. That's the word today, kids. LOL. This man. This man. Ew. Let me tell you. Shan was like, I don't know why they're getting on Kai. Not everyone can get a Stream University. The whole point of Stream University is to get you on the page. So yeah, he's going to have successful people directly in it. Yeah. And like I said, it's something that he created, so he has the right to basically do what it is that he want to do with it. Like I said, how do you get mad because somebody wants to do something their own way? He created it. He's putting his money, he's putting hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars towards the production and everything that comes with it. You're not putting anything in there. So how are you getting mad and in your feelings? Like, it's the stupidest thing. People who ain't never do nothing get mad at somebody else who been doing it and who's putting money forward. So you should just be able to walk into the door and just reap the benefits of it. Nah, it's nah, no. Nah. Shauna said, yeah, I remember that video, and she sure did. Ty said did you see the Trump song I sent you? No, I ain't even see it yet. I ain't even been on Discord yet. Sham said, oh snap. Give me 1 second. Let me see. Where was that? I forgot. Wait, what did she say? She said, "What's a Smurfing product?" That I have not a clue what that is. I have not a clue what Smurfing is. That's something brand new to me. What was it? Son said this is why you get all these people believing that they have access to expressing the N word in an attempt to be cool. Yeah. Shauna said because I never thought about it. They never had the idea. Bars. Bars. He said it's like people didn't understand college ain't just about education, it's about the connections they make too. Yeah, that's facts. That's facts. Yeah, and that's basically what streaming university is when it deals with Kai Cenat. It's like just like I think Sham said it's somebody else. It's to get people directly on the front page. It's to get people's names directly out there. Like that's their way. It's like uh, uh, uh um what's the best way to sit up there and put it? It's like a socialite, type of party where it's like you're not really, sitting up there like you're going there to get to know other people. You're going there to sit up there and make connections, right? It's to make business deals, to shake hands. Like these are people that are going to be sharing, in a sense, passing subscribers in a sense around. Like everybody's going to grow from this. Like I said, I watched the other streaming university when it happened before, when he did it the first time, and the growth that a lot of streamers had. Like you were able to literally see it. In some instances, some people grew it like overnight. Like it was incredible when it sat up there and took place and happened. So within that sense, that's why I sat up and said it's a very lucrative and positive thing for those content creators who are part of streaming university, for them to, if they're able to take direct part of it. But again, like I said, when it deals with the Hispanic folks out there getting mad that they didn't get accepted, I'm like, dog, you could easily all get together and do the exact same thing. Y'all could have been did this light years ago, but you opted not to sit up there and do it. Like I said, it's crazy. What was it? Son said the people in this world act as though of this world act as if we are a fixture within the American experience as opposed to a fellow group going about an attempt to the dream. That's fast. Yo, Rabbit, what is up? What is up? What is up? You said I'm confused. Are we supporting Kai or not after you got caught talking greasy about Black Americans? No. This ain't in, like I said, I'm talking about the subject. It's not in a sense in defense directly of it, but I'm using it for a broader example of what, in a sense, Black Americans have already highlighted, because we already know that even though Haitians and Dominicans are right there, they ain't really going to sit up there. Dominicans ain't going to consider Haitians within the exact same realm, right? They're dark and complected, all this other type of stuff. So I'm just using this as an example to further prove what it is that Black Americans have already been talking about when it deals with, things going on here in the United States. Let me see. Wow, that's crazy. So I can't read these comments sometimes. I swear to goodness. Shan was like, "LOL, Kai is not FBA either." Though is he? No. Kai is Haitian. A lot of them there. I think the only one that's technically Black American that was Duke Dennis. He even made a video directly about it. But I know some of them are Dominican, Haitian, and a few other things. What was it? He said they did mad damage control on him when he spoke out of pocket. Yeah, they did. They did. And I'm pretty sure that this is why he made sure, when it dealt with the streaming university thing and also looking at the landscape of social media and how Hispanics have been talking about Black Americans, I'm pretty sure he made sure to navigate and stay directly away from that. That dude has been out of the limelight for about 9 months, and I'm pretty sure that there was a lot of PR work and everything that went directly into that. So I'm not too surprised. University said Kai looks like, oh, that's crazy. Sham said, yeah, both of his parents are Caribbean, Trinidadian, and Haitian. Both be racist against Black Americans. It's just saying that the university thing. I was just stating it's not a big deal. Not supporting him. Yeah. I get what you're saying. Yeah, I get what you're saying. 100%. But yeah. Anyways, I ain't going to keep y'all here much longer. I got the video. I just gotta finish it up a little bit, and I'll have that posted for you guys. It's about 8:00. Yeah, y'all can go finish up, Uber Eats, order some food, get your feng shui directly in order, catch up on some movies or some anime, some video games, and things of that nature. and I'm gonna let y'all have directly at it. Um, what was it? Sham said, "I know Black people have done forms of this type of university with the music industry." Yeah, yep. Sham said, "I'm finna do the dishes." I think didn't I do the dishes? Yeah, I got done. I did those right before I started the stream. I was supposed to sit to make some coffee, but I forgot about it. But yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. See you guys in the next live stream and or video. Peace out.